Welcome back to
the Governors with a loss to Yankton back in 2015, a win over Watertown in 2013, but from the 2017 season all the way up to here, the 2025 season, the Governors have found their way here in the second week of November to play on Friday night. Of course, the 1 year the Dome was under renovation in 2019, and that season the Governors defeated Brookings in Brookings at the site of South Dakota State University. It's Brian Oakland with play-by-play. We are excited. I'm along with Sean Lewis to call this game. Coach, I know you're excited once again, and your first opportunity to kind of call a game with us here in the Dakota Dome as well. Govs come in off of a big win over Huron 28-13, avenging one loss on the season to an 11AA team. Obviously, they've got to do it one more time if they want to be back kind of where they feel they belong, and that is on the podium as the state 11AA champions.
Yes, is definitely a different view for me. I think I've been on that sideline, this sideline, up in a booth down there, front row of the bleachers, both sides, and I say we got a pretty good seat in the house. But you know, to bring it back to the game, yes, I mean it's Yankton versus Pierre. Couldn't get any more sweet. I mean, these two teams have a history with each other, both in the Dome. Is like we talked about. This is our third meeting in the championship game, but ultimately, you know, we beat them 2 years ago. We ended their season last year in the semifinals in Yankton, and now here we meet again with it all on the line.
It's really becoming quite a rivalry, and obviously in the postseason, the Governors have had the upper hand, and Governor fans and players and coaches will hope that remains the case tonight. But obviously, it was 8 or 9 years ago, Yankton did beat Pierre in championships in Class 11 AA. The winner of this game would take over the top spot. So there's that, obviously. But I don't think the Governors are worried too much about that. They just want to be the one raising the final trophy at the end of this one.
Yeah, I don't think the coaches or the players much care about that 8 versus 9 number. But I can guarantee you, those of us who are faithful football watchers and just students of the game, both probably in Yankton community and Pierre community, they want to have that bragging rights of having that 9th title. So again, no pressure from anybody down on the field, but from us up here, we'd love to walk out of here with those bragging rights.
Yeah, for what it's worth, I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. 6 Super Bowl titles. New England's got 6 Super Bowl titles. I'm not cool with that. I don't think it's going to change this year, but I'd sure like to be at the upper hand rather than tied for the top spot. That's just all fun banter, but obviously we've got more important things to talk about, and we're going to do that with extended conversations with both head coaches tonight. After a 3-minute timeout, we'll talk with the coaches, including Brady Muth of the Yankton Bucks, who we do appreciate his time, and always good conversations with Coach Muth. We'll start with Coach Steele, but we'll go to break after a quick reminder that the broadcast of this state championship game is being authorized by special arrangement with the board of directors of the South Dakota High School Activities Association. And for all of those on the road heading to state tournament play or to holiday travel or whatever the reason, the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety reminds us all to slow the drive. Arrive alive. It starts with you. And buckle up every trip, every time. You've got someplace to be. Reminders from the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety. 3 minutes and we meet up with the coaches. Steve Steele of the Pierre Governors first. As the umpire trying to strike back, we'll find out how to make that work with Keys to Success. Brought to you by Central Dakota Eye Care. Next 3 minutes, you're listening to the state 11AA championship here on River 92.7 and drgnews.com.
From the early days of South Dakota statehood through today's digital revolution, BankWest has remained committed to helping customers and communities succeed. BankWest Associates uphold this commitment by developing innovative products, tailoring financial solutions to customer needs, and actively supporting community causes. For a bank committed to helping you and your community prosper, choose BankWest. BankWest. Convenient, connected, committed. Member FDIC.
Dakota Storm Roofing is a locally owned roofing company in Pierre, specializing in both residential and commercial roofing services. They can handle your asphalt shingle, metal roofing, and flat roof needs. New construction, plus all types of roof repairs. They can handle the finishing touches, adding fascia, soffit, and gutters too. No job is too big or too small. For a free estimate, call Dakota Storm Roofing at 280-9794. Go to dakotaststormroofing.com or find them on Facebook or Instagram.
Superior Concrete is proud to sponsor the Governors this season and just as proud to offer the finest concrete solutions available for commercial and residential applications as well as foundation and flat work. The bottom line, if you need anything done with concrete, we can do it. Superior Concrete. Give us a call today for an estimate or more information. That's Superior Concrete. Find us on Facebook or call the office at 605-494-0102. That's 494-0102. Call today.
Capital City Ford Lincoln Toyota in Pierre is here for you. They make it easy when looking for a new vehicle, getting all available vehicle information so you can spend less time researching and more time enjoying your purchase. Shop their extensive inventory from home at CapitalCityFordToyota.com or stop into Capital City Ford Lincoln Toyota, 518 East Sioux Avenue in Pierre. Count on them for all your service needs with convenient scheduling and in-stock parts. Capital City Ford Lincoln Toyota in Pierre, 605-224-7378.
Do you dream of a custom home built within your budget and done on time? Kruger Contracting can make that dream a reality. They're a trusted home builder since 2003, and they're going to be upfront and open about cost and transparent about where your money is going when it comes to your new home. Their skilled crew will manage construction of your new home from start to finish. They're located in Pierre and can build your home in Pierre, Fort Pierre, or the surrounding area. Call 605-222-2523. Visit KrugerContracting.com or find Kruger Contracting on Facebook.
Century Business Products is a proud provider of the most reliable Kyocera copiers and printers to the Pierre School District. Backed by 5-time nationally awarded Kyocera servicing team. Are you looking to control color cost? Looking to reduce printers? Are you looking for more efficient ways to scan documents? Or maybe you'd like to become more paperless? Look no further than your local Century Business Products. Call 800-529-1950 and see how they're powering business technology.
All right, keys to success. One final time for the season as we talk with Steve Steele, the Governor head coach. It's Dome Week, and Coach, you get here off of a victory over the Huron Tigers. You avenge a loss, and 28-13. I think in some respects that game was a lot tougher than a lot of folks thought it could have been. I mean, just another good example of what the Huron Tigers have shown this season. Parity in 11 AA, but they were number one through much of it, and a very tough opponent, really hard fought win for you.
Yeah, I mean, they were the number one team until the last week, literally, of the regular season. They have a tremendous defense. They really forced us to be methodical and get down the field. Jaron breaks a big run, which is huge. But I mean, that was a tough discipline game for us. Just because we weren't, they were daring us to take some shots offensively, having to fight that urge, and defensively, just with their different, the running back had a heck of a game, but they still have those two really big receivers that they were able to challenge us with. So really good discipline all the way around.
I know when you relegate yourself to calling plays on the run most of the time, I mean, more than 50% of the time, I know you have to have tremendous respect for a defense like that.
You do, and again, when you've got athletes like Carter Scheffelbein out there, you really feel like you're wasting them if you're not taking shots in a lot of ways. We had to do what we had to do to get through the game, and Carter was perfectly fine with that because we get another game this week.
But look at what Carter did on his touchdown catch, the way he toe tapped. And I know you were on the far side of the field on that, but man, he looked like a college or professional athlete on that one particular play.
Yeah, and just the wherewithal to get into that position, when it turned into a scramble drill, reversing field and getting back towards the sideline. Wonderful play mentally and then physically by him, and great job by Jaron putting it as close as he can get it to being out of bounds with it being not out of bounds.
And when you can ground and pound, though, which, losing Carter Merrill kind of changed direction on that this season, but knowing that you can still do that when necessary, that's big coming into this championship game.
Yeah, Porter came in and just, did what he can do. You saw a lot of different good things on the offensive side of the ball. Obviously, you saw us run with Jaron plenty, but having Porter go in there just adds a much more physical element to the run game, and he excelled at that.
So now you have to focus on the Yankton Bucks, and it's this rivalry between Pierre and Yankton is really stretching here for several years now, and second time in 3 years you'll meet them in the Dome. Obviously, they beat you in week 4. That was one of those games where they got off to a big start. You came back and tied it. They win it in the end, but why expect anything different as far as a good ball game between two good teams.
Yeah, and I think that's exactly what we're all expecting. It should be a battle. They've improved, we've improved. We've changed a lot. They've changed some too, and I think that's what's going to make this a really fun game. Is our game was very early on in the season, and again, it was a really good ball game. So I think that it should be another really good ball game here tonight.
I'm going to throw another thing about parity that we've seen this season, but now you got parity between Pierre and Yankton in that you've had to win games, defensive minded. I think last week was an example of that. They even more so, 12-7 in their quarterfinal win over Spearfish. Obviously, they got the offense going against Sturgis. So two very versatile teams and two teams that are capable of making a lot of adjustments on the fly.
Yeah, and again, I think that just speaks to two teams and programs that know how to win football games now. You don't always win the game the way you expect to win the game going in. But sometimes those are the most meaningful games, or when you have one game plan and that doesn't go well, and then you still find a way to win by adjusting on the fly. And, again, I think they've done that multiple times throughout the season, and so have we. So, I think one of us is going to figure out a way to win it tonight, and hopefully that's Pierre.
And, they eventually lost to Sturgis last weekend, beat them 41-28. And, what did you see from that game that really concerns you coming into this one?
Yeah, I think they really got the run game going. Their running back had a phenomenal, really both games of the playoffs. He's been great. I think he had 32 carries or something this last game, and really they pounded it all the way down the field. Sturgis wasn't able to really get off the field when they were just running him. But at the same point, just kind of like Huron, they've got good matchups with different receivers. They've got 3 or 4 receivers that are really good. They've added number 16 to the backfield quite a bit at times, just as another run mobile threat, where they'll take out their quarterback and put in number 16, who's also listed as a quarterback, and they'll run him all over the place. So they've changed, they've adapted as the season's gone on as well. And I said that's a big reason they're here.
They're passing less then? Is that what you're saying?
In the playoffs, they've definitely passed less than they did in the season. But I think it's, if I know them, it'll be a case of what can they do, and whatever they can do is what they're going to stick with.
Your key to success on defense just has to be stay off the field, get off the field, because I think if there's one way to beat the Pierre Governors, it's control and dominate time of possession.
Yeah, it is. And, I think again, going off of what they've done the last few weeks, we've got to stop the run. If the Sadlasa kid gets in a rhythm, he's tough. I mean, he's hard to bring down. He's a big, strong kid. So, I mean, we've got to find a way to get him stopped, and then focus on all their coverage guys.
Okay. And offensive keys to success.
Yeah, I mean, I really think the big play is an important thing for us, and we're getting back to a defense that's not, unless they come out and decide to do this, they're not going to be playing so far back that we can't take our shots. And, not that we need a shot every play or anything like that, but we've got to be able to stretch the field, force them to get their eyes out of the backfield, so then we can make our run game better by taking those shots. And, the first time around, we dropped 3 touchdown passes and overthrew 2 touchdown passes. Yeah. You put 5 more touchdowns on the board, we win that game. Hopefully today, when we do get those shot passes, we execute them, we bring them in and we score, and that'll go a long way towards winning.
Okay. And with the guys you have this year in the Dome, experience-wise, I mean, what are you looking at? You got kids who were here last year, but maybe weren't as in high-level roles as they're playing now. How ready is everyone to go?
Yeah, everyone's excited. Everyone's ready. I mean, you look at Carter Schaffelbein, he got hurt in the first quarter. So he's excited to get his shot again, because he didn't get a full game. Jaron was not a kid that played last year. He was on the sidelines. We got a few linemen, a couple defenders that have played. But, we're a pretty young team right this moment, not always due to choice. So, I mean, it's going to be an important thing for us to get out there and establish some success early.
All right, Coach, let's go make some memories. Good luck, all right?
Thanks.
There he is, the head coach of the Pierre Governors, the guy that has brought the Governors here now 9 seasons in a row to the state championship game, Steve Steele. Coach's comments and keys to success are brought to you by Central Dakota Eye Care in Pierre. We'll step aside here from Central Dakota Eye Care, and we speak with Yankton head coach Brady Muth. Always gracious in talking to us as well. Keys to success continue right after this. This is the State 11 AA Championship on River 92.7.
Olson Plumbing in Pierre provides complete plumbing and drain cleaning services to commercial and residential customers. Olson Plumbing understands how the simple things in life are often the things we can't live without, and running water is the top of the list. Olson Plumbing offers 24/7 emergency services, and they can be at your location in under an hour in most cases. If you need help with your plumbing system, call Olson Plumbing 605-224-6436.
Check out Iverson Auto in Mitchell or Huron for great deals and top-notch service. Iverson Auto has it all. From the knowledgeable sales and finance teams to the experienced parts and service teams, plus the best detail shop in the region. Iverson Auto, 77 plus years in our community, locally owned and operated. We have always been here.
Feel good to avenge a loss that you had just a couple of weeks before. And I look at the couple of weeks, with the loss to Sturgis, then a tight win over Spearfish, and then the win over Sturgis this past week. It looks like, maybe you've got some ups and downs at a tough time of the year, but at least you're showing some versatility in coming out with these last two victories now.
Well, that, and I think too, I think when you look at the state of football in 11AA, I think everything is real tight. We've kind of said that all year. That I don't think there's any real top or bottom. It's just a lot of good teams that are trying to get to a championship.
Yeah, parity has been the theme, and especially for the home teams too. Like when you had to go out to Sturgis, that was a tough ask, but it seemed like the same thing when those West River teams came to your place these last 2 weeks.
Yeah, our guys, and the big thing is that I don't think, and this is what I really appreciate about this group, they weren't trying to go out and avenge anything. It wasn't like they were trying to go out and right some kind of a wrong. They just wanted to go out and play better football. And, fortunate enough, we had an opportunity against Sturgis to see if we had made some improvements. This game is going to be real similar. We've got teams that have played each other earlier in the season. A lot has changed since then. And they're going to be, two teams that are trying to see how they've improved.
Yeah, that's you bring up a good point about a lot has changed, obviously, for Pierre. And, I don't know how much you can really look back on the first meeting that you had with them. You're really looking at the last couple of games to try to figure out what they're up to these days.
Yeah, and there's been a big change for them. Obviously, when you have a change at the quarterback position, that's going to be first and foremost, just because of the nature of the position. But we've had some changes too. That first time we played, we had a couple of key starters out, and we had some guys that were hurt, and so we're a little bit different team. I think, there's some things that we've improved on. There's some things that we still got to get a lot better at too. But, I would tell you that outside of just skill set, just looking at and evaluating certain players on the field, watching film on Pierre, that's about what we're shooting for. We're not trying to look there and see if there's anything scheme-wise that they're going to replicate. But I would say that, that's the interesting thing about these Pierre Yankton games is that, every year it's the same teams playing, but they're really not the same teams, even game to game. There's so much that changes between us when you play early on in the season to later on in the season. The last time we met, I don't think that really matters. I don't think, in previous years, the interactions we've had or the games and competitions we've had, I don't know if those really matter. The only thing that matters is what's going on right now.
Yeah, and the one thing about the last time these two teams met was that you got out to a big lead. They came back, and you guys had a great finish to that game. But just the fact that I think both of these teams are capable of scoring quickly and in bunches, it's just a matter of this 48 minutes, and maybe the team with the ball last is the team that comes out on top.
Well, that's the way it kind of ended up. The last two times we played,
right.
in the semifinal game before, Pierre had the ball last, and they got a score. And in the time we played them here earlier in September, it was kind of like that. I think we got the ball with 45 seconds left, and I think we gave the ball back with, like 10 or 20 seconds left, whatever it was. But it was, you had 45 seconds, some time to get some stuff done, and so I think you might be onto something there. But I will say this: whenever you're playing Pierre, and especially a team coached by Steve Steele, they're going to make adjustments at halftime. So if you, it doesn't matter how the first half went, you can throw it out the window. You need to be ready to play a full 4 quarters against Pierre.
Absolutely. So when we talk about keys to success, and there's the experience factor, but I think for your guys and even for I think for the Pierre team, there's a lot of youth on the team. When you go back a couple of years, maybe the kids that are on the team and running the show now, this is their first opportunity in the Dome, isn't it? For the most part.
Yeah, I mean, yes. I think we have 1 or 2 guys that were playing on the team the last time we played each other in the Dome, but for the most part, we've got the same story we've had. We've got a lot of new guys and in new roles, and so Pierre's got a young roster this year as well. And like I said, I mean, I think there's some familiarity with going to the Dome, but I'm going to be honest with you. I played in the Dome 30 years ago. I'm not leaning on that for any kind of experience as to how the game's going to go. You know what I mean? It's all that matters is the guys that are on the field right now.
All right. One final ask about your keys to success in this game then.
I think, every game we start, our number one goal we need to check off is we need to be the most physical team. And that's no different this game than any other. That we've made a more of a concerted effort to run the football and run it effectively. The last 2 games, we've ran the ball very well, and we're going to have to be able to run the ball again against, a really, really tough defense in Pierre. And then the big thing is big plays. Every time you get into a game with Pierre, that they're going to have about 5 shot plays that are going to be dialed up. And Coach Steele does a great job of getting those plays called in the perfect situation. And we just have to be on our toes to make sure that we're ready to stop any big plays. And if they do happen, to not let it get us off track, to make sure we get everything back in the direction it needs to go, and then just execute and get to the next play. And so I think those are our things that we looked at as to what we need to do if we expect to win the football game. But it comes down to executing play in, play out. You've got to be there, like you said, for 4 straight quarters, and you got to play really, really tough, focused football.
All right, Coach, appreciate your time in our chats as always. Best of luck to you, okay?
Thanks a lot.
You bet. There he is, Brady Muth, the head coach of the Yankton Bucks. Coach's comments and keys to success are brought to you by Central Dakota Eye Care in Pierre. Brian Oakland, play-by-play. Sean Lewis at side as well. We'll ask our own coach about keys to success. But, Coach, the one thing that both coaches mentioned, and especially regarding the Pierre offense, these shot plays, whatever they call them, Coach Steele mentioned them. Big plays are going to be the key for the Pierre Governor offense. Yankton Bucks, key to success, limiting those shot plays for the Pierre Governors, and because he knows that they're capable of that. He knows that that's what the Governors are going to be trying to do to try to get the upper hand here.
Yeah, Steve Steele always has, like you said, 4 or 5 big plays, but I can guarantee you he's also got 4 or 5 more plays that he's not shown on film, not shown anything, that he's got dialed up and ready to go. So, on the Yankton side, they got to have a lot of defensive rules to be able to stick to this. But Steve sets his plays up really, really well. I mean, it's not like he just all of a sudden goes, hey, I'm going to pull this one out of my pocket out of nowhere. Now, we've seen it once or twice, but he is really good at setting plays up. So I think, they're going to come to the line. They're going to spread the whole field out, get as much, because, if Brady Muth is talking about, hey, we want to be physical, well, if we can create space, that negates a little bit of physicality. And then if we go athlete for athlete, I'm probably take Pierre most days.
Absolutely, and especially in the speed game. The other thing that Coach Muth talked about was the way that both of these teams are a little bit different. Now, obviously, when you play mid-season versus the very end of the season, every team is going to be different. You look at the Governors; they've had a changeover at the quarterback position due to injury. The left tackle, the running back, injuries that keep those players out for the rest of the season. Yankton's had some injuries that are changing some things around as well, but the way they've gone from an up-tempo, passing-happy offense to now a team that really wants to run the football. But Jay Sedlacek and also with now Tegan LaCroix, who's running the football for them, what are we going to see out of Yankton? If you haven't really seen film on them, I'm not really sure what we're going to expect.
Yeah, they're going to say that they're going to want to stay 50-50, and I believe for the most part, that's always your game plan as a coach coming into the game is, hey, we're going to stay 50-50, run pass. But I think the thing that Yankton always does is they're going to run with their tempo. So offensively, they're going to get up to the line. They're going to snap the ball. They're not going to care about time of possession, and they're just going to simply try and wear you out with their pace of what they're doing. Now, that can be throwing the ball. That can be running the ball. They do have players that they can rotate in, as I think in the last, 3 to 4 weeks, they've used 3 different quarterbacks. They had a different running back, and now that Jay Solacek is back and healthy, I mean, he's been their prime back, but they will did in the first game. Their game plan is, yes, stay 50-50, but also come out hot and fast. So I think they're going to be looking for their big plays of their own, both in the run and pass game.
Back in September, late September, the Bucks got out to a 21-0 lead on the Governors. Governors tied it with 42 seconds left at 28-28, but Yankton will to do some of those things tonight, or if the Governors have the answers defensively. We're under 6 minutes to go in our pregame countdown here at the Dome. Let's take a 3-minute timeout. We're back with starting lineups from Envirotech. The Pierre Governors again against the Yankton Bucks. The 11AA championship is coming up on River 92.7, your official voice of the Pierre Governors, and drgnews.com.
Always will be. Stop in for your next new or used ride, or use one of our professional services at Iverson Auto in Mitchell and Huron, or browse our inventory online anytime at iversonauto.com.
At Jan Bussey Ford and Highmore, they've been building partnerships for life by treating customers right, offering a low-pressure sales process, no haggling over price, passing low overhead savings on, and providing a Ford-certified service department fixing it right the very first time. If you're looking for a new Ford, a quality pre-owned vehicle, a new or used ATV, or a trailer, stop by Jan Bussey Ford and Highmore and experience the difference.
Jan Bussey Ford, building partnerships for life.
When the world feels big, a small note can mean everything. Find mental health support at sdbehavioralhealth.gov.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Generational success means different things to different people. But to us, it means seeing my daughter follow in my footsteps, keeping the farm in the family, just getting to do this every day. We're Agtegra Cooperative, and we're generationally successful. That's who we are. Agtegra Cooperative.
Hey Josie, why so glum, chum? I can't find a way to get my whole group to one spot without taking all these cars. You haven't heard of Denwell?
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union, where they treat you like you own the place, because you do.
From the first wails of surprise to first day of school questions, playground adventures, learning to drive stress, and graduation cheers, they'll always be your little sunshine. At Avera Children's, we get kids, teens, and parents too. We'll step you through first checkups, milestones, sickness, and specialized care when your child needs it, and treat them like our own every step of the way. Learn more at avera.org/children's.
The 11AA championship comes up a little bit later on here in our BankWest pregame show. We'll take a look at the other scores of the championship games that have happened so far. But our Envirotech starting lineups are up now. Let's meet the Yankton Bucks as they'll start with Tate Bestie, the 170-pound senior at quarterback. One to watch is Jay Sedlacek as you hear the Governor fans right down in front of us come to life. The Governors have come out of the locker room. Yankton already lining the far sideline as they get set for our national anthem. Governors, let's go again with Yankton Tate Bestie, the senior quarterback. Jay Sedlacek, a 180-pound senior, will be one to watch. The Governors have to contain him out of that backfield. The H-back is Edley Amaro, a 235-pound senior. tight end type player. They've got 3 receivers, all good ones, especially the slot receiver Owen Eidsness, the senior 160-pounder Abe O'Brien's had a good season, a senior. Wide out, and Cale Hazelhorst, a senior as well in the wideout spots. The line is fronted in the middle by Ben Bowman, a 260-pound junior. Guards on the left are Jace Walter, 270, and a junior. Peyton Eustace on the right side, 230, and a senior. The tackles are Austin Conway, who's all ESD, 280-pound junior, and Drace Gaskins, a 285-pound senior on offense for the Yankton Bucks. Defensively, Gaskins goes in the nose. The defensive tackle is William Guzman Ugofsky, a 255-pound senior, with Edley Amaro at one defensive end spot, Talon Kenny on the other side, a senior going at 230. Linebackers, they usually go with 2. Chase Platt, a senior, Madden McQuaid, a junior, and then they might see Easton Feeser, or bring Easton Feeser in as a third linebacker. The corners will be Carter Boomsma, a senior, and Miles Drotzman, a junior, along with Tegan LaCroix, the junior. Cale Hazelhorst is the free safety. They also employ a rover, and that'll be Brennan Gilmore, a 175-pound senior, with Gavin Johnson, the original starter at that position, out due to injury. Those are the Yankton Bucks. Their head coach is Brady Muth. Our starting lineups brought to you by Envirotech in Pierre. Let's run through the Governor starters real quick with Jaron Deal, the sophomore quarterback, Porter Hunsley, the sophomore running back at 180, Carter Shufflebein, all ESD, wide out, 165, and the junior, along with senior Lincoln Dilgis and junior Hudson Stoser. Cooper Terwilliger is the junior tight end at 240, along with the lineman Bryson Wallman at center, the junior Max Schmitz, Max Bogenhagen, a junior and a senior in the guard spots, Colton Cass, the senior, Spencer Olivier, the junior, at the tackles. Olivier, of course, playing in place of the injured Tucker Ott. You've got Jaron Deal, who took over for injured Caleb Lounsbury, the senior, in the Spearfish game. And, of course, Porter Hunsley at the running back spot, running in place of the injured Carter Merrill, who is, again, done for the season. That's the offense for the Govs. Defensively, the nose tackle, Devin Binger, the 240-pound junior. We'll still see Lathan Rounds playing multiple defensive spots on the nose or as a defensive tackle, but Max Bogenhagen and Cooper Terwilliger are the defensive ends, with Max Schmitz getting time in there as well. Hudson Schaefer, the senior, Lincoln Schoenhardt, senior, at the outside linebacker spots, along with Sam Larson in the middle the junior. Will Eilers, the sophomore middle linebacker as well. Logan Whitty and Aiden Beam are the corners. Porter Hunsley is strong safety. Sutton Sonnenschein, who's been ridiculous in the free safety spot, picking off passes. He'll hope to have at least one more here tonight in the state championship game. The Pierre Governors are head coached by Steve Steele, assisted by Dan Machachak, Scott Nye, Jeff Hagee, Adam Spohr, Josh Schleisner, Jeff Schleckaway, and Duncan Trow. The starting lineups brought to you by Envirotech in Pierre. Got another starting lineup to give to you. It's the naming of today's game officials, and our game officials are the law on the field, assigned by the South Dakota High School Activities Association to officiate this 11 AA state championship matchup. And we appreciate them for doing what they do and being among the best to do it. Today's game officials are Michael Perrion, the referee. The umpire is Tracy Boone. Head linesman is Chad Veery. The line judge is Ross Effling, who formerly used to live in the Pierre area. The back judge is Patrick Spellmeyer, and the alternate tonight is Colin Boone. It's an all Sioux Falls crew, though. Michael Perrion, Tracy Boone, Chad Veery, Ross Effling, Patrick Spellmeyer with the alternate Colin Boone. Thanks, guys, for being our law on the field. And you're sponsored by the South Dakota Attorney General's Office Consumer Protection Division. We'll hear from them. Actually, the starting lineups are coming up on the floor. So let's take a 1-minute timeout. Envirotech with the starting lineups, and the South Dakota Attorney General's Office with the law on the field. We'll hear from them, and we'll continue our Bank West pregame show when we come back in 1 minute. This is the State 11 AA Championship on River 92.7.
Envirotech makes life a little bit simpler. No matter what the circumstances, no matter what is handed to you.
They have luxury seating buses with air conditioning, outlets to charge your phone, and other must-haves for traveling.
Whoa, no way!
Yeah, you should check them out.
Where can I find them?
You can follow them on Facebook or denwelltransportation.com, or hey, let's give them a call at 605 532-3836. Stenwall Transportation. Let us do the driving.
Allied Plumbing and Heating is your contact for business, farm, commercial, and residential plumbing needs located in Pierre. No job is too big or small for Allied. Put our over 50 years of experience to work for you. At Allied Plumbing and Heating, the only surprise we want for our customers is how fast they get the job done. That's why we offer free estimates on every single service, no hidden charges. Give them a call today at Allied Plumbing and Heating. Remember, you can rely on your allies.
John.
Bank West for the best, continuing our Bank West pregame show as the Governors are being announced on the field. Of course, you are able to watch this game on TV if you'd like. South Dakota Public Broadcasting, our friends covering all of the state football championships. And, of course, tomorrow they'll have two more games with the 11A and the 11 AAA championships. Of course, they'll be covering state volleyball tournament play coming up next weekend from Rapid City on their three stations of SDPB. SDPB's let's try that again. SDPB.org/sports or /football. You can follow all the football action online and keep up with South Dakota Public Broadcasting on social media as well. Good friends of ours, and we just thought we'd give them a little bit of play as they're allowing us also to do more streaming with the help of Live Ticket. And as Governor fans have been able to see these games, our games that we cover all season long through YouTube, through GoGovs.live, and of course through our own website, drgnews.com. We certainly appreciate everybody joining us through that route as well. The rest of the games that have happened so far in the Dome, we go back to last weekend. The All Nations Championships were played out. Class B was won by McLaughlin, who finished a perfect season, 28-0. They defeated White River. And also from Central South Dakota, Todd County competed in the A championship game, but Winnebago, Nebraska was able to defeat Todd County in that game 36-8. So congratulations to McLaughlin and Winnebago on their state championships in the All Nations Conference. Then yesterday got started with the top seed in Class 9B, handling Avon, the 2 seed, 54-6. The 9A game was played. Let's see, the 9A game last night as Wall defeated Howard. No, it was 9AA. Freeman Marion Freeman Academy defeated Elkton Lake Benton 46-22 last night. This second day of state championships got started with a dismantling by Wall of Howard 60-6. Wall, a state champion for the second time in about 5 years. And then this afternoon, St. Thomas More, who made it to the Dome for the seventh year, or the seventh time in their history, they finally get their first state championship as the 2-seed Cavaliers defeat top-seeded Elk Point Jefferson 48-38. Very fun game to watch as we saw that one coming down here. A lot of offense in that one, but St. Thomas More wins it for the first time ever. And of course, Pierre and Yankton, the 3-seed Governors taking on the top seed Yankton Bucks here in the 11AA championship. Tomorrow in the afternoon, it'll be number 3 seed Lennox against number 1 seed Sioux Falls Christian for the 11A championship. That's a rematch from last year. Lennox pulled the upset a year ago. They'll try to do it again, but the Christian Chargers seem to be the team to beat, of course. And it's a rematch in the 11 AAA championship from last year as well. Number 2, Sioux Falls Lincoln taking on the number 1 Brandon Valley Lynx. That's the schedule of games with those that have been played. Of course, our game coming up tonight, and then 2 more games tomorrow. As the Yankton Bucks continue and complete their starting lineups on the field, we will take a 3-minute timeout. We'll come back and kick this one off. The Governors will try to get back what they lost a year ago when Watertown beat them 14-13. They want to be 8 out of 9 state champions after winning 7 in a row before last season. That's what's on the line. As you listen to Pierre Governor Football, your official voice of the Pierre Governors, River 92.7 and drgnews.com.
Fall sports are here, and Beck Motor Company is proud to cheer on our local athletes. Just like teamwork on the field or court, you can count on teamwork at our dealership. Whether you're driving a new Chevy Equinox, a tough Chevy Silverado, or keeping your current ride in top shape with our service department, Beck Motor Company is here for all your automotive needs. Good luck to all our hometown teams this season. From your friends at Beck Motor Company, we're making a great deal better. www.beckmotors.com, 605-224-5912.
Dakota Storm Roofing is a locally owned roofing company in Pierre, specializing in both residential and commercial roofing services. They can handle your asphalt shingle, metal roofing, and flat roof needs. New construction, plus all types of roof repairs. They can handle the finishing touches, adding fascia, soffit, and gutters too. No job is too big or too small. For a free estimate, call Dakota Storm Roofing at 280-9794. Go to dakotastormroofing.com or find them on Facebook or Instagram.
Superior Concrete is proud to sponsor the Governors this season and just as proud to offer the finest concrete solutions available for commercial and residential applications as well as foundation and flat work. The bottom line, if you need anything done with concrete, we can do it. Superior Concrete. Give us a call today for an estimate or more information. That's Superior Concrete. Find us on Facebook or call the office at 605-494-0102. That's 494-0102. Call today.
Capital City Ford Lincoln Toyota in Pierre is here for you. They make it easy when looking for a new vehicle, getting all available vehicle information so you can spend less time researching and more time enjoying your purchase. Shop their extensive inventory from home at CapitalCityFordToyota.com or stop into Capital City Ford Lincoln Toyota, 518 East Sioux Avenue in Pierre. Count on them for all your service needs with convenient scheduling and in-stock parts. Capital City Ford Lincoln Toyota in Pierre, 605-224-7378.
Do you dream of a custom home built within your budget and done on time? Kruger Contracting can make that dream a reality. They're a trusted home builder since 2003, and they're going to be upfront and open about cost and transparent about where your money is going when it comes to your new home. Their skilled crew will manage construction of your new home from start to finish. They're located in Pierre and can build your home in Pierre, Fort Pierre, or the surrounding area. Call 605-222-2523. Visit KrugerContracting.com or find Kruger Contracting on Facebook.
Century Business Products is a proud provider of the most reliable Kyocera copiers and printers to the Pierre School District. Backed by 5-time nationally awarded Kyocera servicing team. Are you looking to control color cost? Looking to reduce printers? Are you looking for more efficient ways to scan documents? Or maybe you'd like to become more paperless? Look no further than your local Century Business Products. Call 800-529-1950 and see how they're powering business technology.
For over 100 years, State Farm Insurance has been there to help whenever you need them. The team at Potsdam State Farm is your central South Dakota good neighbor. While technology may have changed, you can always expect top-notch customer service from Potsdam State Farm. They'll take care of your insurance and financial needs, where good neighbor service is their continued priority. Potsdam State Farm Insurance, with offices in Pierre and Gregory.
Holiday skip payments are back. This is Julia with Oahe Federal Credit Union. The holiday seasons are right around the corner. With all the traveling and holiday shopping, the costs can build up. That is why Oahe Federal Credit Union is offering our members the chance to skip your loan payments for a small fee for the months of October, November, or December. In return, we will donate a portion of those proceeds to a local charity. Oahe Federal Credit Union, 221 East Pleasant Drive in Pierre.
Driven by the Office of Highway Safety. River 92.7, KGFX FM, and K296FI Pierre. Arrive alive. Don't text and drive.
As we welcome you back to the USD Dakota Dome, our colors are just being retired from the field right now. Beautiful rendition of our national anthem, sung by a young high school voice from around the state of South Dakota. And there it is. Getting closer to the opening kick coming up. Pierre and Yankton. In the history of these two teams, it goes back a long way. State championships at the Dakota Dome started all the way back in 1981. Yankton, in fact, was in 3 of the first 4 state championships. They had quite a rivalry with the O'Gorman Knights way back when, and they won 2 of those 3 matches as well. They've won 8 overall. They've lost 6. And, of course, the Governors have won 8 overall and have dropped 3, including 1 to the Yankton Bucks. Pierre is in their 12th state 11AA championship. Yankton is here for the 15th time overall. And, of course, these two teams are 1-1 in state championship games. Back in 2015, it was Yankton beating Pierre 21-20 in overtime. Governors scored in overtime but went for 2, and Yankton was able to get a pass knocked down. Great game that was, and even though the Governors probably, I think, were favored in that game, but of course, Governors 2 years ago defeated the Yankton Bucks 35-7. Bit of emotion that has been part of the coin toss enactment for the Pierre Governors, and suddenly it just hit me, Sean Lewis, with the Governor captains carrying Aiden Van Balen's jersey out to be a part of the coin toss. They've done it every game this season, but all of a sudden here, state championships, the Governors have a little something extra on their side. They hope here as they try to come up with a state championship once again.
Yeah, they've been honoring Aiden all year, bringing his jersey out. Also, if you see his brother's been on the sideline, also wearing the 95 jersey and the ones that the AVB Foundation bought for the team. I was kind of hoping we were the home team and get to see those creative, beautiful jerseys, but we're the away team in white, and definitely, I mean, they've reserved that 5th captain spot and never let it go, and not a kid more deserving.
Absolutely. Number 95, the South Dakota National Guard has rappelled down from the ceiling on the southeast side of the Dakota Dome. They're delivering the game ball right now, so the coin toss has not happened just yet, but we've got a long night ahead of us, and hopefully things going well. The Governors, let's talk about their theme of the season. The Empire Strikes Back. Steve Steele, the head coach, is a bit of a Star Wars nerd, as he admits, and even though the Empire, if I'm not mistaken, in Star Wars were the bad guys, here the good guys, the Governors trying to get back what eluded them a year ago. How much has that played in as part of the hunger for what's gone on over the course of this season?
You know, I think it's definitely a statement thing. Being able to, like you said, 1 play short, 2 yards short last year, kind of leaves a bad taste in everybody's mouth, regardless of if that was a moral victory or whatever, to be there with Watertown and be in that game and be down there. These guys aren't taking moral victories. They want their own victory. That's why they're saying the Empire strikes back. You call us the Empire. You could say, that is the dark side, but when you're winning like Pierre is, you kind of have to embrace the role of being a villain, as there, quite frankly, are a lot of people rooting against you, just like the New England Patriots back in the day. And you kind of got to embrace it. You got to take it, and you got to run with it. And, hey, this is our game. We go win.
All right, 30 seconds. We kick it off. Our Comtech opening kick, and the Governors will receive when we come back on River 92.7 and drgnews.com.
Comtech has your technology solutions. Check out their showroom located right off the truck route on Irwin Street. Come in and see what you've been missing. A large selection of TVs, sound systems, and smart speakers, PCs, desktops, and tablets, home and business security, and telecommunication systems. Comtech is your all-in-one solution for any technology needs. Wishing all athletes the best of luck in today's competition. Comtech. Come see what you've been missing.
Comtech sponsors our opening kick. Comtech, the communications and electronic sales and service dealer on the lower truck bypass in Pierre. It's Brian Oakland along with Sean Lewis. Folks, we'd also like you to listen for highlight plays. If the Governors in particular are right on the money, delivering right on the money highlight plays, those moments in this state championship will be brought to you by Rounds Financial Services. It's Rounds Financial Services in Pierre, where your money works for you. Osaic Wealth, member SIPC. Liam Villanueva kicks it off for the Yankton Bucks from right to left. Yankton in home red, the Governors in road white. Here we go. Boom, right to left. And it'll be the Governors returning from the 10-yard line near hash mark. Moving left to right. Jaron Deal up the middle. Carter Shufflebine And he made a nice move right in between a couple of defenders at the 35. Yankton had one man to beat waiting at the 35-yard line. And Shufflebine brought down, so the Governors will start 1st and 10 at their own 36-yard line.
And definitely something that we forgot to mention in pregame. We got so worked up into these offenses and defenses, we kind of forgot to mention special teams.
Yeah.
And if you've watched all the Dome games thus far, special teams has been a huge issue, whether it be onside kicks or no kicker. Yankton has a special kicker. They always seem to have one. But we also have a special return man in Carter Shufflebine, so I'm expecting something electric out of him tonight.
The Governors are starting in an empty backfield. 3 receivers left, far side. 1 receiver right, Jaron Deal looking left. The Govs wanted to go long right away, and this could be a key matchup as Edley Amaro comes around from the right defensive end, and he beats Colton Cass, the left tackle. Amaro will bring down Jaron Deal for a sack back to the 29-yard line. That's a 7-yard loss right off the bat here for the Governors, so a little bit more of a challenge on 2nd down and 17.
Yeah, and Edley Amaro is going to be a guy that Jaron Deal is going to have his eyes on, is regardless of who his matchup is, Cass on one side or even on the other. I mean, he's just a guy that when he gets his motor going, he's going to be tough to stop. So we got to have some plays, roll him out, and just get his feet set. Just kind of negate what Edley brings to the table.
Still empty. Deal will draw the attention, and then he'll do what he does. Tucks and runs. He's up across the 35 to the 40, and still almost broke an even bigger one, but he's brought down at the 42-yard line. A gain of 13 right there for Deal on his first carry of the night. 2nd and 17 becomes a much more manageable 3rd down and 4. Opening drive of the state championship with the Governors. Again, they're wearing their road whites with the green numbers, green helmets, but they've got the black pants on the bottom for the 2nd week in a row. This combination worked in Huron with a 28-13 win in the semifinals a week ago. Backfield mate is Porter Hunsley. He'll lead for Deal, who tries to get the 1st down. He's got it, breaks the tackle, 50 to the 45 of the Yankton sideline. His momentum carried him out of bounds. Otherwise, I think maybe he might have been able to break it a little farther. Safety Cale Hazelhorst was the last line of defense there as well for the Bucks. Deal is spotted in Yankton territory at the 47-yard line. 1st down, Governors, and a pickup of 11 yards.
And a very patient run by Jaron Deal as he followed blockers on that thing the whole way. And, you know, Drew Strand, Huron's coach, came up to us after the game in Huron. He's like, hey, man, that dude is fast. Regardless of what he looks on film, in person, he's way faster. And so, I mean, you're going to see him to elude people,
and
get
of
out
course,
of the pocket and deliver a strike.
The escapability of Jaron Deal, and he does avoid the rush here. Finds Cooper Terwilliger on the near sideline. It's a short gain of 4, but still much better than it could have been sack, as that might have been a 6 or a 7-yard loss. Now to the 43-yard line. 2nd down and 6 for the Governors. Terwilliger catching his first pass. A lot of eyes on him, of course, being highly touted here out of Pierre High School, even though he's still just a junior. Now 4 wide set. 2 far side, 2 near side. The Govs go on the ground for the first time out of the backfield with a running back. This is Porter Hunsley, but good job in pursuit. And this is Easton Feeser, that 3rd linebacker, the 215-pound senior, coming in to make the stop. In fact, drop Hunsley for a loss of a yard.
Yeah, lost on the yard, but ultimately I think what Steele's doing is messing with his offensive line and his formations here just to see exactly what kind of coverage look that Yankton's going to give him. And that way, when he does need a big play, he knows exactly which one to go to.
2 tight end set. Deal's going to roll out here. 3rd down and 7. He'll throw near sideline, and this pass is broken up. He's looking for Shufflebine. Feeser is in the area again. Hazelhorst is he comes over. In fact, Hudson Stoser was the intended receiver. He came up with the ball down on the near side, but that pass is ruled incomplete. The Governors are going to elect to punt as they got it 4th and 7 at the Yankton 44-yard line, and they're certainly, if things work out here with a good punt, obviously you're looking for at least managing field position here to start this one with 9:45 to go in the first quarter of play. Deal is the punter. He'll punt from left to right. Yankton return man back at the 10-yard line. Deal's got one with the left foot up high. Punt, and this one takes a bounce at the 15-yard line. It'll die, but the Governors can't touch it if they're in the end zone. They've got it back to the 3-yard line, and that is a perfect scenario for the Pierre Governors. Yankton's got it on the 1-yard line.
You can't ask for much better of a punt. I kind of thought there was initially a big block in the back as one of the Pierre guys got taken out straight into the turf, and then I was kind of wondering if they would return that, and he chose not to, and ultimately that's real dangerous down there because if it gets the right bounce, it's down at the 1, and that's exactly what happened.
Well, Yankton had that ball. They let that ball bounce at the 15-yard line. It took a sharp bounce in Pierre's favor, but then it was getting awful close to the end zone. Yankton coming out of the red Coyote end zone. They'll give to Jay Sedlacek just to try to get some breathing room, and Sedlacek goes from the 1 out to the 3, a pickup of 2. And obviously, Coach, with the ball at the 1-yard line, you kind of thought about 2 years ago when the Governors had the ball on the 1-yard line. Next play, 6 points for the Govs when they hit from 99 yards out. Not this time for Yankton. They keep it on the ground. Now Tate Bestie wants to throw. He has time. He'll throw with an underneath slant route. He finds Abel Bryan. The ball comes out, and the Governors have it at the 12-yard line. Is he down? No, it's Pierre football, and the first turnover of the game happens inside the Yankton red zone, and the Governors have a golden opportunity with a big play defensively. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 12-yard line.
And if I'm Pierre, I'd get out here immediately and try to not let replay or anybody take a timeout and just see. I mean, I think ultimately he landed on top of somebody else, which prevented him from touching the ground to be down. And now, of course, we're going to try and get on this, and this is our ball. As the replay on the board showed, he was definitely on top of somebody when he lost control, so not down.
So 9:01 to play. The Governors had to punt after 6 plays. Yankton runs 2 plays. They lose the football. First takeaway of the game. The Governors will play act. Then a bootleg out to the right. Deal has his man Terwilliger inside the 5. Brought down by Hazelhorst, but the forward progress has him to the 3-yard line. That's a pickup of 9. It'll be 2nd down and 1.
Nice play action, roll out, kind of get everything moving one way. Use your speed, go the other way, and all's that Cooper Terwilliger needs is just a little bit of space with that big body and the way that Yankton is playing basically 4 deep. They're playing cover 4 for the most part. Just sit underneath it, take it, be patient.
2nd and 1 from the 3. Deal will hand off to Hunsley. He'll go left side. He meets up at the 2 and the 1 and the touchdown. I believe it is good. Far side linesman comes in with hands in the air. Touchdown, Governors, and they strike first in the state championship with a 6-0 lead. Porter Hunsley from 3 yards out. They fumble in the recovery by the Governors at the 12-yard line. 2 plays later, it's 6-0 Governors. By the way, that fumble recovery, Pierre Governor defense right on the money with a highlight play. Right on the money highlight play is brought to you by Rounds Financial Services in Pierre, where your money works for you. Here's Carter Templeton, the junior kicker, as he gets one up and he gets one through. The Governors with 8:20 to play in quarter number 1 are on top early, 7-0 as we pause for 30 seconds, and we'll be back for a Pierre kick when we return to the state championship. This is Governor postseason football.
Hoffman Electric is your neighborhood electrical service contractor, and so much more. No job is too big or too small for our team of professionals. We pride ourselves on keeping up with new technologies, such as Aerial, an augmented reality visual tool used to customize and experience a finished space before breaking ground. So whether you're building new or renovating a home, farm, or commercial space, let John Hoffman Electric light the way. John Hoffman is a proud sponsor of all local activities broadcast on Live Ticket TV.
Each day.
On top, 7-0. Welcome back to the Dakota Dome. Brian Oakland with Sean Lewis, William Wilson in studio, Caleb Brozick, and our live ticket friends live streaming for us through drgnews.com. A fumble caused, and unfortunately didn't see who caused it, didn't see who fell on it, but it was a big play for the Governors as they turned the Bucks over at the 12-yard line of Yankton. That after a Jaron Deal 43-yard punt that set the Bucks up at their own 1-yard line. And of course, 2 plays later, you get a 9-yard pass to Cooper Terwilliger to the 3-yard line, and then Porter Hunsley runs it in from there. 7-0 Governors here at the Dome, and so far the Governors feeling right at home, as they usually feel here in the Dome. Templeton to kick deep High end over end kick taken to the far side at the 12-yard line. They're going to hand off back to Tegan LaCroix. Has the 20, 30, near side, one man to beat, and they'll get him 40, 30, 20, 10-5 and a touchdown. Yankton with a special teams big play. The Governors want big plays. Yankton trying to minimize from the Governor's standpoint, but they get a big one. So the kickoff was taken at the 12-yard line. They brought it to the middle of the field, but Tegan LaCroix on the reverse. Those 88 yards for the kickoff return, and the Bucks with a quick response. There's Tegan LaCroix.
Yeah, big thing on kickoff is getting down there, staying in your lanes. You get a fit gap, guy in between guy, and unfortunately we got out of one gap, and that's how that thing goes down the sideline. And as much effort as we had, it's hard to make up when you lost that angle.
Left-footed kicker puts it up and through. That's Kevin Ortiz. So the Governors fans celebrating. This is apparently no good. I think he missed it. Wide to the left. Pushed it a little bit. So with 8:07 left, the Bucks will settle for 6. It's 7-6 Govs. Pierre gets it back in 30 seconds when we come back after this break. You're listening to Pierre Governor Postseason Football.
Brings the opportunity to make a difference, to follow through with integrity, to solve challenges through innovative thinking, and to bring the technical know-how needed to get the job done. At Wilbur Ellis, this is how we work, standing side by side as local experts who partner with the stewards of the land. We do it together. That's the power of we.
Town Neighborhood Market.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union, where they treat you like you own the place, because you do.
Down on the field, obviously, Governors didn't really catch up to what we might have been seeing up here.
No, it looks just a little bit different when you're down there, and you got guys in your face, and it's like I said, one guy gets out of a gap, out of a position, and that's unfortunately where that guy goes. And we had an outside contained guy that, flew to the ball, kind of lapped over inside. And when you give up the outside, unfortunately, on a kickoff, those big things happen.
Villanueva will kick right to left. 7-6, though. Yankton misses the PATs, so Pierce still leads by 1. Now Shufflebine will take his opportunity from the 4-yard line. Near side, but up the hash mark. He's met at the 20, dives ahead to the 22-yard line. And Pierre will try their third offensive possession from there. They started their first possession at their own 36, ran 6 plays, had to punt from the Yankton 44. And, of course, good things happen from there, winning the field position. But here with 8:02 to go, first quarter, here will come again on their longest field to play on so far. By the way, last line of defense for the Governors on that kickoff return was Jacoby LaRush, the soccer star turned kickoff kicker. Now the Govs want to go over the top. Deal has Shufflebine at the 45, 30, 20, 10, 5 touchdown. Nobody answers better than the Pierre Governors. 78 yards up over the top. A big play for the Bucks, and a big play, maybe bigger, for the Pierre Governors. Carter Shufflebine. This kid has burned the Bucks, coach, over the last couple of years. This time for 78 yards, and the Governors lead 13-7.
And he's burned them just like that, over the top. And Jaron Deal laid an absolute dime in his hands. And I know we talked about big plays, and you just said it, but that was the only thing running through my head is, okay, they got the momentum, big play. I know Steve's got something coming right away, as I want this momentum on our side because it's a huge thing in high school football. Sure as the sun comes up tomorrow, right away, first play to Carter Shufflebine.
Templeton with the PAT, that's up and through. 2 for 2, Carter Templeton. The Governors answer right back, and it's 14-6. And we're going to keep it here. The Govs will kick here in just a moment, but that's exactly what I was thinking in the back of my mind. I wasn't about ready to talk about it, even though I had given a little bit of time. I mean, that's exactly right. If you take, had that fumble recovery earlier on been further out in the field, I'm sure Coach Steele would have tried to go over the top. And here, after Yankton gets that momentum, boy, The Governors, you talk about the quick strike ability. These 8 out of the last 9 years that the Governors have been here, of course, quick strikes and big plays, which are key to success for the Governors. That's obviously what has happened here, and it's 14-6.
Yeah, there you go. And I mean, you think Yankton goes down, they get that kickoff, they're so excited, miss the PAT, so they don't even get to tie to the game. They're still losing. And then Pierre, first play over the top. It's just got to be head down. You know, you tell your high school kids, keep your head up, be resilient. But, man, that's a big one as far as the swing and the momentum of things. And now this kickoff unit gets to go back down here and see if they can right the wrong. And they're back out here right away. So hopefully they got a short memory going on.
The Governors, again, are right on the money. Right on the money. Highlight plays from Rounds Financial Services in Pierre, where your money works for you. One play, 10 seconds. Carter Shufflebein from Gerondale for 78 yards, and the first big throw that Gerondale makes in his state championship, obviously, was right on the money, dropping the dime to Carter Shufflebein. This is LaRush kicking, and the Govs are going to pooch one over the front line. It's a free ball. Pierre may have it, and the Governors would have it at the Yankton 41. There it is. Coach Lewis, you talked about it. Every one of the games here in the Dome this weekend has been the kicking game, the placement game. You see it in the NFL nowadays, and the Governors get this pooch from Jacoby LaRush as he hit it over the top of the first option for Yankton was Jacob Bivens on that front line. He didn't really have a chance. Actually, when he went and got it, it bounced off of his helmet, and Pierre fast to the draw. And again, right on the money. It's Pierre football at the Yankton 41-yard line.
Absolute beautifully executed onside kick. And I tell you what, you got a problem with your kickoff unit and coverage, just hit an onside. I've seen more onside kicks in the state championship games in these last couple days.
Deal again to Shufflebein, wide open at the Yankton 30, near side, met at the 25. Hazelhorst comes down with it, and Shufflebein will have it first down at the 21-yard line, a pickup of 20 right off the bat here on the 4th possession for the Governors as they look to add more to it. One thing we've learned when these two teams play, even if you get momentum in the first quarter, well, you better keep the foot on the gas because both teams have that quick strike ability. The Governors showed it back in late September down at Crane Youngworth Field in Yankton.
Yeah, you get that quick play ability. You also just turnovers. I mean, when there's an opportunity in a game in a turnover situation or a big play, I mean, you have to capitalize. You know, I remember watching youth football, Mark Zabel, you know, he gets all fiery, and he's done a good job with all 3 of his boys, but he's like, boys, when you get a chance to put your foot on their throat, you got to put your foot on their throat. And this is ultimately, I mean, kind of what this drive is, you know, Yankton's not going to be out of this, but if we really want to kind of keep the pedal down, this is a huge play in this game.
First down play was a pitch to the short side, near side. Porter Hunsley gained 6 before being run out of bounds, and now 2nd down and 4 near hash mark for Gerondale. Hunsley will lead the way. Deal on a keeper. Nice block to seal it off. Deal lowers the shoulder at the 10. He'll be thrown down from there as Madden McQuaid out of the defensive backfield brings down Gerondale, and the Governors look really comfortable right now, especially once again in the Yankton red zone. They're at the 9. It's first down and goal after a 6-yard gain.
And not just really comfortable, really physical. I mean, that was a physical finish to the run. Every run so far that I've seen, there's a little extra shoulder fighting for a little extra yard. And, you know, when Brady Moose says that they need to be more physical, Pierre's definitely winning that battle right now.
So far, first down and goal. Again, the Governors moving from left to right. Here comes Hunsley. Starts right, goes back to the left, has a 5. 3, 2, 1, touchdown. Porter Hunsley goes right through a hole as the Governor offensive line does the job. 6 more for the Govs. And with 6:42 to play here in the first quarter, Pierre on top, 20-6. 3 quick strike. Hay dirt trips for the Pierre Governors. This one from 9 yards out. And Carter Templeton will try to make it 3 for 3 in the kicking game. Gerondale, the holder, takes the snap. Templeton's kick is up. They say it's good. 3 for 3. So with 6:42 to play, the Governors 21, the Yankton Bucks 6. Let's pause for 30 seconds, and we'll be back with more from the state championship on River 92.7.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press
Protect
Box.
what
Owyhee
matters
Federal
most
Credit
with the
Union,
Brittany
where they treat you
Shufflebein
like you own the
Agency,
place,
American
because
Family
you do.
Insurance. Our personalized insurance solutions ensure you're covered, no matter what life throws your way. From home and auto to farm, commercial, and life, we tailor policies to fit your unique needs. With our dedicated team and exceptional service, you'll have peace of mind knowing you're in good hands. Contact the Brittany Shufflebind Agency, LLC.
Best of luck in today's
Back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union, where they treat you like you own the place, because you do.
Timeout for South Dakota Public Broadcasting. Timeouts in our broadcast brought to you by Coca-Cola Bottling in Pierre. Good time to take an early break here in the first quarter with your favorite Coke product, Coca-Cola Bottling in Pierre. So the Governors, as we go back, had the first drive. They ran about 6 plays, but ultimately had to punt just inside Yankton territory. The Bucks had to start all the way at their own 1-yard line on the second play of their first possession. Abe O'Brien catches a pass, but is hit. He fumbles the football. The Governors recover it at the Yankton 12. 2 plays later, Reporter Hunsley, 3-yard touchdown run on the ensuing kickoff. Yankton runs a reverse, and Tegan LaCroix goes 88 yards to the house. As Yankton responded, but they missed the PAT, 7-6. The Governors on the ensuing possession go 1 play and 78 yards. Jaron Deal over the top to Carter Shufflebind for a 14-6 advantage. And then on the Pierre kickoff, they pooch one over the front line of the Bucks, and Pierre recovered the free ball. Then 4 plays, 41 yards, including a 20-yarder to Carter Shufflebind. Porter Hunsley on that 4th play runs it in from 9 yards out. And with 6:42, we're not even halfway through this first quarter, the Governors lead 21-6 as Jacoby LaRush ready to kick again. Yankton obviously going to be wary of a placement kick again. LaRush doesn't want to outkick his coverage either. This one is muffed, and Yankton will have to fall on it at the 26-yard line, as that is Carson Krull down on top of it. Going to be important. I think that's a big play right there for Yankton. Krull, don't underestimate what he did just falling on the football, but Yankton's really got to come out here if you're the Bucks and just get settled in back to their offense. They really haven't run any offense. They've only run 2 plays in this game so far.
That's exactly where I was going to go, is probably saying, hey, we're halfway through the first quarter, and the craziest stat is Yankton's ran 2 offensive plays. And we're at 21-6.
And the Governors have scored 3 touchdowns. Yeah. Sedlacek gets a first down carry up the far hash mark. That's a good gain on first down. 7 yards to the 34-yard line. Yankton wants to go in a hurry up here. 2nd down and 3. Watch Edley Amaro, the H-back. He's in the backfield. Here comes Owen Eidsness. Good player, but they'll go with Sedlacek on the inside handoff. He's got enough for a first down across the 35 to the 38. 1 yard past the line to gain, and the Bucks will move them with a 4-yard pickup this time.
Yeah, last time the Governors played Yankton, Jay Sedlacek, I do not believe played in that game at all. I think he was hurt early in the season, and so they've really, I think in the last 3 games, tried to get him back and get him involved early and often into their offense.
Bestie with a dump off on the flat near side, and Lincoln Schoenhardt will get him by the ankles. Sedlacek dives ahead from the 40 up to the 43. I'm going to correct you there, Coach. I believe he did play, but he was just coming back in that game, and that was his first game back after said injury. Sedlacek with a 5-yard gain this time. Tate Bestie, 2 for 2 from the quarterback position. Minimal yardage, but 4 wides, 3 to the right, 1 to the left. That's where Bestie's initial attention went. Now he's rolling out to the right side. Room to run, but he'll fire, and a good effort here to bring this one in by Eidsness. I could see him trying to keep 1 foot in bounds, but in doing so, he wasn't able to catch the pass, and it'll be incomplete, and 3rd down and 5 coming up.
Yeah, and Eidsness really, when they need a big play or, a huge chunk on a down and distance, he kind of is that security blanket that they're going to try and go for. So I'm interested to see, whether we're going to play zone coverage or man coverage and exactly who is his matchup with the Govs.
Here defense. The crowd wants defense. You hear them right in front of us. It's 3rd and 5. Bestie's going to throw far side. Has a man open at the 50. This, I believe, is Hazelhorst, and he'll be wrestled down out of bounds by Aiden Beam into Pierre territory at the 48-yard line. There were actually 3 receivers in that pattern, and Bestie went with the one in the middle. And the Bucks will move the chains for the 2nd time. They pick up 7 here as Hazelhorst has his first grab of the night. Now back to the ground on 1st down. And it'll be Sedlacek. The Governors keep him to a 3-yard pickup to the 45 here. But Yankton now with two movements of the chains here, maybe they're starting to get a little bit of rhythm in their offense, which is crucial for their attempts to stay in this game. And once again, the Bucks just keep right on going. Amaro in the near slot to the left, to the right side. Trips that way. Noel tried to lead the way. Sedlacek cuts back. Good block to seal the edge. Sedlacek with a nice move inside the 40-yard line. He'll get enough to move the chains again to the 37-yard line.
Yeah, you might have called that a good block. I wouldn't call it that.
I didn't know if it was going to be a block in the back, but
I'd have called it a big old hold on Edley Amaro on Lincoln Schoenhardt, as Lincoln was in great position there to make the play. And as you see, his shoulder pad still sticking out. He got those grabbed and thrown, and just right in front of the ref, too. That's a hard one.
Quick hitter on the far side, and I was out of my peripheral vision. But on the far side, O'Brien catches his second pass. This time he hangs on to it near the line to gain. They'll put it to the 27-yard line. A gain of 9. Let's call it the 28. There's Bestie and O'Brien and the Bucks moving again. 2nd down and 1. Bestie rolling left. Now he'll throw this one away over the top of everybody. A good job by Will Eilers coming from the left side of the defensive line of the Governors as he forced Bestie out of the pocket.
Yeah, and that's kind of a free shot when you got, 2nd and 1. They could try and take that deep ball knowing that they're going to probably come back and go right away to the run game. And as you see, Yankton subbed about 2 in, 2 out almost on every play or every other play, and really playing with that pace we talked about in the pregame.
3rd and 1 here as they'll empty the backfield. Bestie wants to throw. He's looking over the middle. Has a man. It's wide open at the 10-yard line. Touchdown, Yankton. Single coverage for the Governors. And this, what number you got here? That is...
Oh, it was 0. It was idleness for them. It was Sutton Sonenshine on the coverage and just got a hair step inside, sprung him free. It was actually really good coverage. Like I said, he just had a step on him, and ultimately it was a well-placed ball, and he had lots of time in the pocket.
That's 28 yards to Owen Eidsness from Tate Bestie. Yankton
going for 2.
We'll go for 2 to try to make it a 7-point game currently, 21-12. Eidsness will stay in the backfield. And they've got Miles Drotzman back there as well. No, that's Tegan LaCroix, 16 rather than 15. Out of the gun. And LaCroix spins around, fakes like he's going to throw. He's racing to the pylon, and he's got it. Creative play drawn up by the Bucks. They do get the 2, and with 4:21 still in quarter number 1, we've got 5 touchdowns on the board. The Governors lead 21-14. Yankton kicks after a 30-second break. You're listening to Pierre Governor Championship Football on River 92.7.
Into the Pierre Governors from Black Sheep Agronomy, your local agronomy experts. Black Sheep Agronomy wants you to have a successful farm plan, and they're focused on products and practices that work in this region. As community members themselves, Tyler, Tice, and Austin support area students who work hard in their school and extracurricular activities. Good luck, Governors, from Black Sheep Agronomy. Call 842-6104 for all your agronomy needs.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union, where they treat you like you own the place, because you do.
In full bloom, so to speak. They go 9 plays, 73 yards in 2 minutes and 18 seconds. That fast-paced offense. But it is Tate Bestie hooking up from 28 yards out with Owen Eidsness. Tegan LaCroix tacks on a 2-point run. Again, Yankton missed their first PAT opportunity. The 2-pointer puts them back within 7. More conventional scoring, and it's 21-14. Still 4:21 to play here, quarter number 1. Brian Oakland, Sean Lewis, here on River 92.7. Thanks to everybody watching. However, you are joining us here. State championship night. Villanueva will kick off from right to left. He's the all-ESD kicker, and he's sending Jaron Deal back to the 3-yard line up the far hash mark, this time with space. Here's Shufflebein again, actually. 35. There's a flag that'll be thrown. 50, 40, Yankton territory. Stays in bounds at the 30. 10-5 touchdown. Are you kidding me? Carter Shufflebein does it again. 98 yards on a kickoff return. Somehow he stays in bounds on the near side after Yankton tried to push him out at the 30-yard line. There's a flag on the field back at the 35-yard line. Was that for a face mask, though?
I'm hoping it's for a face mask.
There was no blockers. There were no Pierre blockers back there. The Governors are celebrating, and this call probably will go against the Yankton Bucks.
I was trying not to get excited because I saw the yellow on the field, but oh man, I figured we were going to see something from Carter Shufflebind. I'm just really hoping that they signal, hey, this is the face mask, Governors decline, and touchdown stance. Let's go.
Maybe a horse collar or something like that. Here's the call. It is a face mask. So Yankton turns the face mask, turns the head of Shufflebind, but they did the right thing, I guess, in letting him go. But unfortunately for the Bucks, Shufflebind has the speed to fly for 98 yards. I don't know what it is about these Governors and these 90-yard plus plays in the Dakota Dome, but they sure have turned them in over the last 4 or 5 years. The Governors lead again by 13, 27-14, as Carter Templeton will line up for a PAT. Second long touchdown for Carter Shufflebind tonight. How's that for being right on the money once again? Right on the money highlight plays brought to you by Rounds Financial Services in Pierre, where your money works for you. Templeton's PAT is good. It's 28-14, 6 touchdowns in less than 8 minutes of football here in the 11AA title match. We step aside for 30 seconds. Pierre kicks again when we come back. 2 Vermilion on River 92.7 and drgnews.com.
Black Hills Vacation Home, the Summit on Dancing Sky near Leeds, South Dakota, in the popular Powder House Pass development. It's a modern rustic design with over 5,000 square feet, 6 bedrooms, and 5 baths for you to enjoy. You'll get gorgeous views of the Terry Peak Mountain Range. There's a community pool to enjoy, and you're close to all the attractions like Deadwood, Sturgis, Spearfish, and a whole lot more. The Summit on Dancing Sky. Visit them at DancingSky.com.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union, where they treat you like you own the place, because you do.
Scores his second long touchdown of the night. This is a kickoff return from 98 yards out. Yankton's first score of the night was an 88-yard kick return coming off of a reverse. By the way, the penalty on the face mask by the Bucks will be tacked on the kickoff. So Jacoby LaRush and the Governors will kick on a short field here. Coach Sean Lewis. Carter Shufflebind was injured in the state championship a year ago as a sophomore in the first quarter. So far, it seems like this is his night to shine, and he's making the most of it.
He is definitely making the most of every touch and opportunity that he's got going on. And I tell you what, I don't know who had the bingo card that had 2 kick return touchdowns in the first quarter, but it's not on my card. I did not have any clue that something like that was going to happen, but we are watching a special game.
LaRush will line drive it. It'll bounce at the 10. It'll go into the end zone. That's a touchback for the Bucks, and they'll take over on their own 20-yard line. And on that same bingo card, if you'd had 6 touchdowns in the first quarter, in the first 8 minutes, that's a special card that you want to frame later on as well. 4:06 to go with this game not even close to being decided. Both teams, quick strike ability. I think you still go back to keys to success, and Yankton, even though they run offense, they still want to sustain drives and keep the ball away from the Governors. Yankton can make some special things happen as well. Here comes Sid Lachik as he jukes and jives through the backfield. They'll get through the line of scrimmage from the 20, up around the 25, 5-yard pickup, halfway there.
And nice job by Sutton Schonenstein just to be able to come from that safety position. It's really good play by both the D-line and the linebackers, but just to be able to fill that hole and to get in there to stop that play from going bigger.
Sedlacek again, big hole this time, 30 to the 40-yard line, and he stays away from the second line. It's the defensive backs, including Aiden Beam, who finally get to him for a pickup of 15, and Yankton in business with 2 carries and 20 yards. Longest play for Sedlacek on his 7 tries so far. 1st and 10 at the 40. This will come out of the backfield. They'll go to Sedlacek again with just a little bit of extra motion. But they stay simple, and they'll go up the far hash mark once again, and another 5 yards for Jace Sedlacek to the 45.
And he's really running patient. They're running to Texas, or their tackle is crossing in and kind of running like a trap or a power with him. And so, we really need to start keying in on that, squeezing down, and then our linebackers reading it is when you miss it, it's a big play.
More room again, and another first down as Sedlacek counters from right out to the left, and there's really nobody there. Yankton sealed off the edge well, and it needs to be the safety, Sutton Sonnenschein, to make that tackle at the Pier 45, picking up 10 more. All Sedlacek here, 35 yards on 4 carries.
Yeah, your safety's probably not, you don't want him to be the leading tackler on the team, that's for sure. You want the guys in front to be able to handle that business and him be able to be a skill player on the back set.
Here's Hazelhorst picking up one on a pass from Bestie, a little 5-yard out on the near side. Hazelhorst out of bounds on the Governor's sideline. His second catch, this time just 5 yards, but still Yankton methodically moving the football. I say methodically, but I'll add the word quickly in there as well. 2:40 to go in the first. They want to throw again. Near side, coming back to it is Hazelhorst. Nope, it's Eidsness again inside the 35. And they'll spot it at the 32. Pick up 8, move those chains again.
Yeah, they're just kind of hitting those, those zone beaters where they're, driving into the guy, watching him back step, and then coming back to the ball and just sitting in the hole. And that's kind of the pass concept they're doing, but it's all set up with so far this run game that they've got going on.
New running back this time taking the ball, and Sam Larson will get to him. That's Easton Fieser, his first carry of the night. And he will pick up just a couple, actually only 1 yard to the 31 as the Governors get to him this time.
And a guy that I really thought had to have a big game for us to get a bunch of stops, especially with Yankton moving into this run game and trying to be balanced, is Sam Larson needs to have a big game, and he's just getting warmed up.
2 receivers right, 1 to the net to the near side. Pass going that way. Eidsness is looking for it, but his right hand was preoccupied as it was being grabbed by a Governor defender, and Logan Whitty is going to be called for defensive pass interference here.
And that's a tough one as a defensive guy because Eidsness also had his hands being able and keeping the defender extended. And so when you try and swat that off, ultimately that's what the refs saw and called that pass interference.
First penalty against the Govs tonight. This one will go for 15 yards. And that'll move the Bucks to the 16-yard line, and that'll be enough for a first down. Yankton had a 15-yard penalty on the last touchdown, the return by Carter Shufflebein. It was tacked onto the kickoff. But now Pierre adds 15 to the Yankton cause. 1st and 10 in the red zone at the 16-yard line. Bucks down 28-14. 1:50 to play. Here comes Fieser again as he will juke right and then dive across the line of scrimmage inside the 15 down to the 14, picking up a couple.
Now Sedlacek rotates back into the game. Must have went out with a helmet to the thigh or something, but he's back in there. And so I'd look to Yankton to stay on the ground here.
Near hash mark on 2nd down and 8. Yankton looking to respond. They go option left. They'll pitch. Sedlacek has the 10-yard line. Governors will meet him there and push him out of bounds on the near side. Actually, they say clock continues to run off of that play, but they'll spot him at the 7 for a pickup of 7. 10 carries now for Sedlacek, 5 of which have come on this drive.
And a big 3rd and 2 stop here. Like I said, getting a stop. I know it's 4-down territory, or at least.
Sedlacek again through the 5-yard line, tripped up and falls ahead to the 2. That will be a first down for 5 more.
Yeah, and ultimately this drive's starting up front. I mean, that Yankton offensive line is really getting off the ball and causing havoc, and that's kind of been the Achilles heel of when we've let things get going away from us.
Sedlacek one more time. Oh, he got around the first line of push by the linebacker Sam Larson. He just stopped and rolled right around, and he walks in from 2 yards out for another Yankton touchdown on an 11-play drive. The Bucks look good on that one. Coach, they like to throw the football, but they've really gotten comfortable running the football, and it shows this time around. Sedlacek makes it a 1-possession game again.
Yeah, they're gonna rely on him, and man, Sam Larson blitzed exactly through the hole that they wanted to run through. They just had a puller that trapped him and got in his way, and unfortunately, like I said, that was the hole he was blitzing through.
Kevin Ortiz for a +1. This is good for the Bucks. And again, 7 touchdowns in the first quarter of play. Still 41 seconds left. It's 28-21. Governors still lead, and they'll receive the next kick when we come back in 30 seconds. This is Governor football.
Agriculture is like no other business, which makes Farm Credit Services of America like no other lender. Owned by the farmers and ranchers we serve, our customers have a voice in how we work, a stake in what we do, and share in our success. Discover a lender that works for you at Farm Credit Services of America.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union, where they treat you like you own the place, because you do.
To the first quarter horn yet. We're 51 minutes into this game. Welcome back to the Dome. Yankton going 11 plays and 80 yards in 3 minutes and 25 seconds. Jace Sedlacek doing most of the dirty work, including the last 2 yards, as he rumbles in for 6. Kevin Ortiz with a PAT makes it 28-21. Still 41 seconds left in the first quarter. It's a sports cliche for announcers, but we always say, if you're just joining us, well, if that's the case, you've missed a lot.
Only 7 touchdowns.
We'll try to recap a little bit later on. Villanueva going to go on a short approach here. He will kick. It's taken by the Governors at the 20-yard line, trying to keep it away from number 7. The Governors come up the far side alley. And who was it? That was
Hudson Stoser.
Stoser, number 15 on the return. Not a bad return at that from an up line for the Govs. Stoser's done some good things as this season has progressed. Pierre will have it 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
You know, I'm going to guess Carter Shufflebein will probably not get another kick on purpose kicked to him for the rest of the night.
Now Yankton's defense will have to try to keep Shufflebein, the receiver, from going over the top. The Governors may get a chance to showcase some of their other weapons. And we'll see if the Governors try to go a little more methodical in this case. Here's Deal. He'll pitch to Porter Hunsley, left side. Here trying to seal the edge. Hunsley has the 40. Now the 50 into Yankton territory. A big run for the sophomore, Porter Hunsley. And just like that, even on the ground, the Governors start making plays, just as Yankton's been able to, and they've got it to the Buck 42-yard line, and that's a pickup of 23 yards for Porter Hunsley on his fifth carry of the night.
So it's kind of opposite there. I mean, Steve Steele called the perfect play with that blitz that Yankton was bringing and just having man coverage on the outside and being able to pop it, and it turns into a big play, you know, because it should, but you have the other play where you have Sam Larson blitzing in the exact gap, and it should have been a stop, and they still get it. So it's just crazy, like 2 good plays in a row. I mean, play calls, whether it be defensively or offensively, and 2 totally different results for the Govs happening. Welcome to coaching 16 to 18-year-old kids.
Pierre does not need to run another play. The clock has run out in quarter number 1. And on our Gales Gas Service scoreboard, oh, what fun we are having. It's Pierre 28 to the Yankton Bucks 21. Scoreboard from Gales Gas Service in Pierre. It's 1st and 10 for the Govs after a 60-second timeout. You're listening to the state title game on River 92.7.
At Dakota Behavioral Health, we offer comprehensive mental health services, including medication management, stress, or other concerns.
Turner Blasius and Marcus Lucky will listen, respond, and deliver results. You can count on GPNA. For more information, visit
7 touchdowns, 4 by the Governors, 3 by the Bucks, 2 combined kickoff returns for scores. Here's Deal on 2nd and 4, handing off to Hunsley patiently through the line of scrimmage from the 35 down to the 31. He'll be brought down by 33. Chase Platt, very good linebacker from that Yankton second line. Hunsley with 5, and that'll be good enough for a first down. Pierre showing the versatility, obviously making plays over the top as they have been, but making a couple of good chain-moving efforts so far here on the ground as Deal's ready to go on the pistol again. 2 tight ends set. They'll play act out to the right side as Deal bootlegs far side, and he'll throw to Cooper Terwilliger coming across. Hazelhorst is there to help knock it down. Looked like Terwilliger and Hazelhorst jawing at each other coming back to the middle of the field. Looked like Cooper's still trying to get the last word in that conversation, but it'll be 2nd down and 10 after the incompletion. 3 for 5 for Jaron Deal. So far, no, let's make that 4 for 6. Obviously, I hate it when I forget to write in the long touchdown plays on my stat sheet. 78 yards. I didn't have that one in. But
when you get excited, I think we'll all give you a free pass because good things are happening for the guys in green.
First minute gone by, second quarter. This will be an option as Deal keeps it himself. He'll be wrapped up, but still a positive gain. That was a 2nd and 10 play. Deal's inside the 30 to the 29. Only a 2-yard pickup this time, though. I don't know what he'd have had if he'd have pitched to Porter Hunsley, but maybe that far side of the field might have opened up just a little bit more.
Yeah, and crazy that we've seen all this scoring. I mean, if you've been watching all of the Dome games so far this week, I guess last 2 days, is you've seen scoring, and not to say no defense is being played, but I mean, it's the offenses have definitely at this point in time in the season where you've got weeks and weeks to install. Defensively, there's only so much you can do. And so, I mean, if you're looking for action, this is something that a lot of people are excited to watch.
3rd and 8, the Governors redirect, and they try to go to Cooper Terwilliger. That was a roll to the right, but a pitch pass with Terwilliger coming back underneath, back to the left, and Yankton.
Stosher.
Boy, they seem to have that one.
Yeah, it's Huddy Stosher coming in. That little pitch pass that looked like, and I mean, we've ran that a couple times before in other games, and it's hit for big plays, and so it's just that was a one block kind of deal. If we get that one extra block, that one goes for a long ways.
You saw that as Stoser. I thought it was Terwilliger, and Coach Steele mentioned to me that they might run a play like that specifically for Cooper Terwilliger, but we'll go with Stoser on that one. We might change that. This is 4th and 13. Big play near hash mark. And a wide open Stoser is overthrown by Jaron Deal. He might have felt a little bit of pressure here. And just a little too tall for Stoser. Sean Lewis looking down the field, and I think he saw a wide open Carter Shufflebind. But
I did.
Yankton did bring the pressure. And for the first time tonight, the Governors are stopped defensively by the Bucks. They'll turn it over on downs. It's Yankton football at the Yankton 34-yard line.
Yankton got their defense to settle down a little bit and kind of see what's in front of them. Let's see if Pierre can do the exact same.
1st and 10 from here. Yankton with an opportunity to even get all even again if they continue their good offense going. Bestie will throw, and this is miscommunication with Hazelhorst on the far side. Tate Bestie throwing behind Cale Hazelhorst at about the 40, 45-yard line on the far side.
Yeah, it really looked like they were out of sync there. You know, Hazelhorst zigged when he should have zagged, went in when he probably should have cut out, and that ball went to the outside, so they were definitely not on the same page.
Meanwhile, Bestie 7 out of 10. He'll stay on the ground with Sedlacek here. Cuts back to the left side, goes over his left guard, and he'll cross the 35 to about the 37 for 3. Sedlacek, he's going to be a workhorse. I really thought we would see more of Tegan LaCroix. We saw him on that kickoff return for Yankton taking the reverse. But that might still be something Yankton can, will have up their sleeves as this game progresses. Big 3rd down here. 3rd and a long 6 for the Governors. Defensively, Yankton on the offensive side as they move left to right. And flushed out is Bestie, and down goes Tate Bestie. Cooper Terwilliger from the left defensive end. The one thing that Yankton did not see from Pierre defensively in midseason when these two teams met was Cooper Terwilliger playing defense. Cooper T comes up with a 13-yard sack. Yankton is in punt formation.
Right on time. Big play. I saw Cooper come in from the sideline expecting, that 3rd down being a passing down. Get that guy in who can just use his length, his size, press him off, and that's exactly what he did. He put that tackle right in the quarterback's lap and then used his reach advantage to go out and secure that tackle.
Right on time, right on the money. Cooper Terwilliger as Carter Shufflebind takes the punt at the 35-yard line. Far side tripped up. Nice play in the open field here for the Yankton defender. Shufflebind will cross the 45 to about the 46. And that is number 2, Ivan Hirschman. Good open field cut down of Shufflebind to negate an even bigger return. A 3-and-out for the Bucks. The Governors will take over again. 1st and 10. They'll spot it at the 46-yard line. 7:51 to go here in the second quarter. Coach, what's going on? No scoring in the second quarter so far. We're already almost, 4 minutes and change into this one. Had 7 scores in quarter number 1. Big opportunity for the Governors to try to keep the Bucks at the proverbial arm's length in an empty backfield. 3 receivers right, 2 are left. actually reversed that. Here's a long pass coming for Shufflebine, and as he tries to reach back to it, that's a good play defensively for Carter Boomsma. Governors wanted to go over the top. This time, Deal actually underthrew Shufflebine. And I'll be honest, Coach, a lot of times you see pass interference on that play. Carter Boomsma, I think, played that one perfectly.
Yeah, he didn't turn around, but he also got really lucky of where that ball was thrown, because it was kind of thrown right at his helmet where, Carter couldn't really turn fully around and make a play on that. And, you said we've now seen a couple defensive stops. Maybe we got all the scoring out of our system in the first quarter, and the second quarter, the defense is going to take over.
Well, we'll see what happens here as the Governors come out. 3 receivers left again from the far hash mark. It's on the ground, and this is Hunsley. Once again, coming to the wide side, which is the near side of the field. Actually runs a long way, but he's only going to pick up 2 yards up ahead of the 45. 46 was the line of scrimmage. They spot him at the 48, and it'll be 3rd down and 8 from there. So another big play coming up for the Governors, and maybe both teams have adjusted to some of the big play capabilities of each of the other teams here. Aiden Beam bringing the play in. He'll take the tight end spot on the left side. Deal in the empty backfield. Shufflebine is wide to the right by himself. Deal rolling that way. Shufflebine stops, coming back. They're going over the middle, and the pass is broken up here by Carson Kroll inside the Yankton 30-yard line. Well, I really thought Deal had Shufflebine out far early on, but this pass intended for Hudson Stoser, as Deal will trying maybe to pick up a little bit more than what was initially available to him.
Yeah, and I think it was definitely a good read. Tough to see here whether the defender got there just a hair early or not, but good throw, just weren't able to pull that catch in.
Deal actually with incompletions on his last 3 pass attempts. Pierre from their own 48-yard line will punt for the second time as Deal with the left foot. This one's end over end, and a fair catch taken on a line drive kick by Owen Eidsness. Really impressed by the Governors' downfield coverage here on special teams, that they were able to get downfield as quickly as they did. But here, back-to-back 3 and outs in the second quarter. Both teams seem to be more comfortable heading in the opposite directions. We've got a media timeout on the field. We'll take it with them. Timeouts are brought to you by Coca-Cola Bottling in Pierre. It's 28-21. Our first quarter score still intact here with 6:57 to play in the second. We're back in 60 seconds. This is the 11 AA championship for the 9th year in a row on River 92.7 and drgnews.com.
Fentanyl is a power.
Explore the 2023 Lincoln Navigator at Capital City Ford in Lincoln. Every time you approach your Lincoln, you'll receive a recarpet welcome. Twin turbocharged 3.5 V6 engine with auto start stop technology, you'll travel confidently with technology that meets all your needs. Now you can get the 2023 Navigator for 5.9% at 72 months. Stop in to see the full vehicle lineup at Capital City Ford in Lincoln. Capital City Ford in Pierre, South Dakota.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union, where they treat you like you own the place, because you do.
Of the state championships, and you can watch tomorrow's games at SDPB TV, sdpb.org/football, and next week's state volleyball tournaments as well. Yankton 1st and 10 after a 3-and-out punt away, 32 yards for Jaron Deal on his second punt, and the Governors bottle up Jace Sedlacek here as Sam Larson and company get into the backfield. That hasn't happened an awful lot tonight, but if the Governors start figuring these Bucks out, and that happens a little bit more often, obviously Pierre can really try to continue to take the upper hand here.
Yeah, if you can settle Sam down, get him to read his keys, he doesn't even need to think. It's a reaction and just get to the football, and that was what he did on that last play.
Sedlacek in motion out of there, but Bestie's flushed out of the pocket. He will scramble and run. They started 4 wide, then Sedlacek went in motion out to the far side, and Tate Bestie for the first time runs out of the pocket, and he picks up good yardage. He'll get to the 30 for a gain of 8, but it's still 3rd and 2 for the Yankton Bucks. That one for Tate Bestie, the quarterback. 6:20 to go, second quarter. Under the ground again, Sedlacek. Oh, nice tackle here by Sutton Sonnenschein. It's a short gain, but it is enough for a first down. They'll get 3, but how about that one from Sutton with the double leg, Coach?
Yeah, well, not 2 anymore. That's 3. They changed the point scoring a couple of years ago, but absolute beautiful tackle coming downhill real fast by Sutton Sonnenschein.
4 yards for Jay Sedlacek they give him. He's got 80 on 15 totes here in the first half. Halfway through, quarter number 2. Up to the air, and Bestie overthrows his intended receiver, Boomsma, by quite a bit. Logan Whitty of the Governors had the best opportunity, but even he was overthrown on this pass, and I think Tate Bestie might have just had a little bit of an adrenaline surge on that particular play.
Yeah, I mean, there was some pressure in his face, but he just kind of wound up and got rid of that ball as fast and as far as he could down the field.
Back to the pistol for Tate Bestie. 2nd down and 10 for the Bucks in red. On a coyote red field. Here comes Sedlacek. There's a flag thrown on the near side. We have not had a lot of flags in this game. Sedlacek actually trying to cut back against the impending rush, and his feet go out from under him. So this will be interesting to see how the Governors play this, if it is indeed against the Yankton Bucks on a hold, which it is. Second penalty against Yankton. You want 2nd and 20, or do you want 3rd and 10? And the Governors appear to be poised to let Yankton back it up a little bit. And I think that's the right call here, because in large part, maybe the Governor defense is starting to gain the upper hand here in this battle.
Yeah, if they're beating you terribly in the pass game, then you probably don't. You take that down away. You leave it at 3rd and 10, but they really haven't gouged us with too much. We played some pretty good coverage, and so 2nd and 20, definitely a better option here.
2 receivers left, one coming in motion this way, and they fake to both the running back and the receiver in motion. They'll dump it out to Sedlacek on the far side. They'll get some of that 10-yard penalty yardage back. Sedlacek spins up across the 30, but he's brought down at the 31 for a pickup of 7. And now 3rd down in double figures. Let's call it 3rd and 13 for the Bucks. Big play for the Governor defense coming again with 5:15 clock running, second quarter, 28-21 Governors. That was the score at the end of the first quarter. Far hash mark. Bestie finally gets the snap. He's got 2 receivers right coming this way, and there's Hazelhorst up at the 40-yard line. He'll be pushed out of bounds by Lincoln Schoenhard trailing just before Aiden Beam was ready to meet up with him. That's a good play run by Yankton. And again, Tate Bestie drops it in the spot in the zone. Up across the 45 to the 48 for 17 goes Hazelhorst.
Yeah, just a tough situation when they're have Edley Amaro as their fullback and putting him, almost in the same area. So you got to, as a linebacker, make a decision which one of those are you going to cover. And I think definitely Hazelhorst is the more threatening pass person, receiver, and so we should probably be after him instead.
So Terwilliger has to run down Sedlacek here. They're into Pierre territory across the 50 to the Governor 45 for 7. This time around for Sedlacek. 2nd down and 3 for Yankton, starting to get in rhythm again after a big 3rd down gain, and now they'll pick up the 3rd down conversion. Now they'll pick up 1st down with Easton Feeser diving up the seam to the 40-yard line for 5 more. This is, it seems like it's getting to the point, Coach, where the Governors are, the challenge is always, and I'll get your point on this in a moment, but the challenge is always keeping up with the pace of Yankton, and they're really settling into what maybe they're more comfortable with. Bestie bides his time. He throws to the edge, then takes a big hit from the Govs. And I think he hits Owen Eidsness on the far side, and actually it looks like it'll be incomplete. They'll keep it at the 40-yard line.
Yeah, it's that pace. When you get a few big plays to stop it, it really doesn't look like their pace is affecting anything. But when they're converting, 3rd down after 3rd down after 3rd down, that's when that pace really starts to set in, and you've got to be able to find that one play to get them behind the sticks.
Second down and 10 from the Governor 40. Play action. They'll throw far side. Eidsness will try to get rid of Whitty. Whitty stays right with him. Well, he doesn't get him down, but he gets plenty of time for Sonnenschein to come and help out. What a great play there by Logan Whitty, keeping Owen Eidsness in containment. That's a 1-yard gain to the 39.
Yeah, and he probably would have had a 4-yard gain if he'd have just stayed with it and went forward. But him trying to take a few extra moves just allowed the pursuit to get there. And that's not forward progress anymore when you're the one voluntarily moving backwards.
3rd and 9, the Governor crowd in front of us coming to life once again, hoping for some more defense with 3:30 to play in the second quarter. Here with a 7-point advantage, 28-21. 3 receivers right to the wide side, near side of the field for Yankton. Bestie looking only to the left side, and this pass had Hazelhorst wide open. We have a flag coming in, and I don't know if that pass got tipped. Maybe by a Governor linebacker.
There's a lot of contact right off the line. Not sure if that was against the Governors or if that was Hazelhorst initiating the contact, but definitely quite a bit initially before that play ever developed.
Got three officials that will confer out there near the 40-yard line numbers. This could be a big play, but really, whatever reason that pass was whether it was tipped or just flat out missed and incomplete. That was a big miss by Yankton. Hazelhorst had some room, and he could have gone all the way. Pass interference. Governors. Fans won't like it. It'll be first down Yankton as they had it on 3rd and 9. Tough break here for Pierre. And that is their second DPI here in this first half of play.
Yeah, just a tough one. Like I said, when there's all that contact and then you turn around to run to get the ball and the offensive guy still has his hands pushing you down. It doesn't look good for either way, but eventually, like I said, they call defensive pass interference.
To the 24, go the Bucks. Play action. Bestie rolling out near side, floating to the end zone, and he leads his man too far. That'll be incomplete. And it'll be 2nd and 10 with the clock stopping at the 3:10 mark of quarter number 2. That's Eidsness out in the pattern, the intended receiver. Bestie throwing the football 16 times. And, Yankton, the word is they've been running the football in their last 3 or 4 games. And maybe, I don't want to say they lost confidence in the passing game, but it almost sounded like in hearsay that might have been the case. They still look confident here tonight, but they didn't execute that one. And now with a hard count by the quarterback, Yankton's offensive line will flinch, and that'll be a 5-yard helper to the Governors as they put Tegan LaCroix in at quarterback for the first time.
Yeah, he gave that hard count, and off his offensive guard or his right guard went. Just a little bit different cadence. That's kind of the issue when you have multiple quarterbacks. The old saying is if you have 2 quarterbacks, you don't have one, although there's quite a few systems, both, collegiately that I've seen that definitely buck that mold. But, we'll see what works.
It was Jake Walter who flinched. He has not been playing left guard to start for all season. Here comes LaCroix. He'll be dragged down by Terwilliger by the shirt sleeve. Not a horse collar, and that'll be a legal tackle. Big play there for Cooper Terwilliger as LaCroix, running out of the quarterback position, gets those 5 yards back to the 24-yard line.
Yeah, really thought he had that edge. But, man, that length of Cooper Terwilliger, like you've talked about. I know he's being recruited as a college tight end, but I really, really like him as a high school defensive end.
3 receivers left, 1 to the right. Ball's on the near hash mark. Make it 3rd and 10 from the 24-yard line. Bestie is back in, looking to throw. Rolling right, and the Governors are there defensively, but he gets rid of it, and he's got his man, Hazelhorst, inside the 10-yard line out of bounds.
Yeah, he almost looked like he was throwing that one in the dirt.
Yeah.
Just a little sidearm shortstop touch on it, kind of Patrick Mahomes-esque, and they convert a first down.
15 yards inside the 10 in the red zone down to the 9-yard line. Hazelhorst's 4th catch. Good play for Tate Bestie. 2:20 to go. Play action, and they'll throw high for O'Brien on the near side. That play didn't look like it had much promise to it from the get-go, as this one is thrown over the top of O'Brien and even over the head of Aiden Beam defensively for the Governors. 2nd down and goal from the 9.
And as you see Boomsma sub out and Edley Amaro sub in, you'd about bet that Yankton's going to go back to the ground game here and try and get this thing closer to the end zone.
2:19 to play. Two receivers left, one right. Morrow is the H-back. Here goes Sedlacek through the 5 to the touchdown. Yankton a point away from tying this thing up. It's 28-27, a 9-yard touchdown scamper for Jace Sedlacek. His second touchdown. And at long last, in this second quarter with 2:15 to play, finally somebody has scored. Unfortunately for the Governors, it's the other guys, as they'll bring in Kevin Ortiz to try to knot it up, 28-28.
Yeah, and just third down conversion after third down conversion, not even third and short on those. I mean, the Governors were doing very, very well on first and second down, and then just unfortunately giving up those third down and long plays.
Ortiz is good, and we're tied up. All of a sudden, a brand new ball game with 2:15 to play. The Governors, well, they'll be in the 2-minute drill. They're usually pretty comfortable with that. When we come back in 30 seconds, you're listening to the State 11 AA Championship, your official voice of the Govs, River 92.7 and drgnews.com.
Futures aren't made by accident. They're dreamt, they're planned, they're discovered. At Northern State University, futures are the result of hard work and grit. NSU is an academic powerhouse with a spirit of exploration and genuine support, where professors know your name and push you to discover what you're truly capable of. But don't take our word for it. When you experience Northern, you'll see the difference here.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union, where they treat you like you own the place, because you do.
Welcome back to the Dome as the Bucks, well, talk about them sustaining a drive and chewing time despite the fast-paced offense. 15 plays, 78 yards, going 4 minutes and 42 seconds through the second quarter. And Jace Sedlacek runs it in from 9 yards out. Sean Lewis saw Ed Leomaro coming in. He predicted a running play, and that's exactly what they were able to pull off. It's 28-28 after a Kevin Ortiz PAT. Villanueva will kick it high and short up to the 25-yard line. This is Stoser to the 30 on the run, but then met and brought down at the 35-yard line. Number 27, Joelton Reimnitz-Hahn is the tackler on this one. And the Governors will start with decent field position at the 35-yard line. And, of course, Sean Lewis, nobody runs the 2-minute drill better than the Pierre Governors, right?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of said, hey, if Steve Steele is able to get the ball first, he's going to take it. And yet also in the other coach's notes, we talked about who has the ball last. Well, I mean, hopefully that we have the ball last, unless this is a quick strike right here. But even having the ball last and just being able to just methodically drive down the field, put one together, and just stay up at halftime is going to be huge.
Empty backfield with two tight ends. Jaron Deal's going to get pulled by his shirt sleeve and spun down in the backfield. Big 64, Drace Gaskins, the nose tackle. Hits in. That's a straight run play all the way, but Deal will be dropped for a loss of 3 back to the 32-yard line.
Yeah, that's a big mama jama at 6'4", 285, and Drace Haskins. Now, Wallman is not 6'4" or 285.
Bryson Wallman, the Governor's center, who got beat on that play, just 215 and about 5'8". Deal wants to throw over the middle behind Terwilliger, and fortunately for the Governors, this one falls incomplete. Jaron Deal might have had to throw around a D lineman as that one comes in behind. Cooper Terwilliger coming across the middle of the field. 3rd and 13 coming up. The Governor passing game has stalled here in the second quarter.
Yeah, maybe a different sight line. He's able to put that in front of him rather than behind him. Like you said, there's a pretty good pass rush in his face.
Now we're hearing the Yankton crowd from across the way. Still an empty backfield. 2 receivers right, 2 more left. Here comes the rush. Deal gets out of there, but for how long? He gets up ahead of the line of scrimmage. It won't be a sack, but just a gain of a yard. And once again, Gaskins on the tackle, and we'll have a timeout called for the first time in this first half. And this one called by Yankton as they try to save as much time for their offense as possible. 1:22 to play. A 3-and-out for the Governors in the 2-minute drill. And it'll be 4th down and a punt when we come back in 30 seconds. Timeouts on our broadcast are brought to you by Coca-Cola Bottling and Pierre. It's 28-28. You're listening to the State 11 AA Championship on River 92.7.
Hi.
The Best Western Ramkota Hotel in Rapid City supports all South Dakota student athletes and their families. They are conveniently located off Interstate 90, close to downtown and minutes from the beautiful Black Hills. The Ramkota offers sports and family-friendly rates. Guests can relax for free in the indoor water park. They have 36,000 square feet of banquet and meeting space, and the award-winning Minerva's Restaurant and Bar is located on site. Best Western Ramkota welcomes everyone to beautiful Rapid City, South Dakota. Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union, where they treat you like you own the place, because you do.
Led by 14 twice, actually by 15 at 21-6, by 14 at 28-14, but Yankton with the last two scores on the board. And we're knotted up at 28-28. The Bucks stand to receive a punt and have plenty of time to run a 2-minute drill of their own. Sean Lewis, Yankton ran a touchdown, game-winning touchdown drive in just 36 seconds when these two teams met in late September. So anything can happen here. Deal on to punt for the third time. Takes a lower snap, but he's got a good boot on this one. Yankton's going to let it go. And my goodness, Yankton is letting a lot of seconds run off here. The Governors will down it back at the 17-yard line.
And
maybe even
touch that one.
Yep, he just let it go until the whistle. But good punt here for Jaron Deal. 17 to the 50, another 33 from there. How's that for 50 yards for Jaron Deal on the punt? Something you and I talked about on the way down here, about when you're trying to save time, these punt return guys, it'd be in their best interest to field the punt so that you don't give up. In this case, maybe 20 yards and another 10 or 12 seconds off the clock.
Yeah, it used to be an issue that we used to have to deal with, people not catching punts. And so just trying to get, through a 16 to 18-year-old kid's head that, hey, we need to at least fair catch that to be able to save clock, if nothing else.
There's a great play, by the way, from Logan Whitty out on the far side. It's a quick hitter to Owen Eidsness, and Whitty gets around the block of the other wide receiver and is able to get a shoe-top tackle on Eidsness. And I'm not so sure Owen Eidsness doesn't have some pain in the left wrist right now, the way he's behaving. This is a loss of 4 on the play. Make it 3 back to the 14-yard line.
An absolute beautiful play out there in the edge. I mean, you got to defeat the block plus make the tackle, and it's just you out there on a ledge. That's awesome.
Sedlacek on the move. That flag will go. The flag will be thrown. Sedlacek out across the 25-yard line, pushed out of bounds with some authority into the Governor bench at the 30. Nice gain for Sedlacek, but it appears that it will not count. That'll wipe away 16 yards on the run.
Yeah, Edley Amaro going to get called for a hold again. I do believe on the last hold call on the edge, that was exactly what he did. He gets his hands into him, but then when you spin him around and throw him to the ground, you're pretty much going to get called for that every time.
Tackling is holding, essentially. 7 yards, half the
when
distance.
You're on the offensive side.
Yeah, half the distance to the goal. On the penalty, that'll mark them back 7 to the 7. And the Governor defense is getting some help, but they're making plays here. By the way, Logan Whitty, the way he made that ankle tackle of Owen Eidsness, I would say right on the money with a highlight play for the Governor defense in crunch time here at the tail end of the first half. Right on the money highlight plays in our broadcast. Sponsored by Rounds Financial Services in Pierre, where your money works for you. Now 30 seconds to go. Second and a bunch here for the Bucks. They'll stay on the ground. Sedlacek spins up ahead of the 10. Nice job in eluding the tackle of Sam Larson. Yankton will call a timeout, I believe. Yeah, Brady Muth on the field as our second Coca-Cola timeout called by the Bucks here in the first half. The ball resting at the 13 after a gain of 6. And we'll take another 30-second Coke break. We'll be back with more. It's tied up 28-28 just before halftime. You're listening to the state championship on River 92.7.
Wegner Auto Company is a fourth-generation family-owned business established
online loan application. You can go to our website and apply for a loan when it's most convenient for you. We make getting loan approval fast and easy. Our local lenders are available to assist you if you have any questions. We make it pain-free to get that loan you've been wanting. We're an equal housing lender. Owyhee Federal Credit Union, your hometown credit union since 1955. Federally insured by NCUA.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union, where they treat you like you own the place, because you do.
Red coloring of USD and all of this Yankton red in the building. Certainly looks like they have been over the years quite used to playing in this building as well. 23 seconds to go. We're in the second quarter. Had 7 touchdowns in the first quarter. Yankton, the only team to score in the second. They're trying to figure out some way to get one more on the board here, but they have it 3rd and 14 at their own 13-yard line. Sedlacek won't go far. He'll get to the 15, and a good job defensively here by the Governors to get him down quickly.
I'm trying to see who was on that tackle. I think it was 60. Cruz
Williams, yeah, he's been playing well in the second half of the season, certainly coming in as
they had both a guard pull and their fullback lead. And I mean, that was straight power. And for him to be able to get underneath that and make that tackle when he's ultimately either supposed to get powered or kicked, that's a tough play. It's a nice play by Cruz Williams.
Now the Governors call a timeout here as it's a 4th and 12 situation for the Bucs. Only 18 seconds to play, but Pierre calls their first Coca-Cola charge timeout of the first half as we'll keep it here. Once again, a lot happening, but Coach, keys to success. And another thing we talk with both coaches about is the ability of both of these teams to adjust on the fly. And they've actually had to do that quite a bit with the way the first quarter went versus the way this second quarter has stalled out scoring-wise.
Yeah, and huge play that we're going to talk about here. I mean, we talked about it on the last punt, vice versa with Yankton, is having that got to get a fair catch or a return on this. Can't let the ball bounce anywhere around the field and take off precious time.
Yankton changed their formation as the Governors got witty in there, maybe to alter the punt. Carter Schuffelbein will not get a chance to make a return here. The ball going to trickle across the 50-yard line. Schuffelbein gets in there to fall on it. Very smart play, and that's going to give the Governors 6 seconds at least to make at least one final-ditch effort here from their own 48-yard line.
Hey, that's a huge heads-up play by Carter Schuffelbein to recognize exactly what was going on, and we need to be able to at least run one offensive play, if not 2 here. But you're going to see Yankton in complete prevent. They're going to probably have 3, maybe even 4 guys way back at the 30-yard line, at least 20 yards off the ball.
So, from the 48, and the Governors will take one more timeout to try to dial up the proper play. Timeouts brought to you by Coca-Cola Bottling in Pierre. We'll keep it here as we're just 6 seconds before halftime. Our Wealth Partners halftime break will be coming up shortly. We'll, of course, give you the full recap. We do have the luxury of official stats in front of us, so we'll run those down for you as well. And, of course, I like what Brady Muth said in respect to Coach Steve Steele and the Governors. The one thing they always do is make second-half adjustments, and we've seen that time and time again with Coach and you and Coach Sean Lewis and just over the years. You know, it doesn't matter if the Governors are in a deficit. You go back to a 20-point hole against T area and that classic with the game-winning field goal. Govs come from behind, and of course, Yankton knows that Pierre has the ability to come from behind. We saw it back on September 26th when Yankton was up early, 21-0. And the Govs did the same thing against Spearfish. Here we go. One play from the 49-yard line. Jarendale rolls out, gets the help of a block. He'll heave it as far as he can, and the Governors get it complete. Terwilliger at the 5. He needs a push. Touchdown, Governors! Are you kidding me?
Holy buckets.
Throw it to the tallest guy on the field. He'll go up and get it at the 5-yard line. And Cooper Terwilliger with the leg strength.
An absolute turn of events here for the end of the quarter.
Yankton Bucs into the end zone. He might have got a push from 1 or 2 helpers in the end. It's a 52-yard touchdown. Jarendale to Cooper Terwilliger.
That turned into a rugby scrum right there at the end.
No time on the clock. The Governors drew it up, and they execute it perfectly. There's a sweet irony to this I'll touch on in a moment. Carter Templeton on for the PAT. The Governors will lead going to halftime. Templeton's kick is almost blocked, but it is up, and it is good. Your halftime score on the Gales Gas Service scoreboard, Pierre 35, Yankton 28. That was the final score of the first meeting between these two. Of course, Yankton with the victory. Then the Governors will lead at halftime on the Gales Gas Service scoreboard, brought to you by Gales Gas Service in Pierre. Real quick point. There's a very big irony. The Governors have tried twice this season, or 3 times, in the end of the end of a ball game to go to Terwilliger when there's going to be a lot of hands up in trying to defend. Terwilliger just hasn't been able to bring him down, but he somehow gets this one from 52 yards out, actually caught it 47 yards on the fly, and then drags players in to the end zone. What a play by Cooper Terwilliger. The Governors lead 35-28. It is halftime, and halftime is brought to you by Wealth Partners, Ameriprise Financial Services in Pierre. You'll find them in the Capitol Creek Center Plaza on East Sioux Avenue in the capital city. Let's pause for 3 minutes, and we'll come back and talk about it. You're listening to Pierre Governor.